Well, there goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody. Welcome on this Saturday morning. No, that's not going to work. We're trying to angle this new light we have in here because
it's on like an you can move it any which way. The little light is on a what do you call that? Like an adjustable coil? I don't know.
Yeah, this thing goes up and down and
but
all
it's
around.
Adjustable. No,
Yeah.
It's completely like a wire.
My ring light isn't quite the right height, and
Yeah.
you can see it in my glasses, and also it's starting to flash a little bit.
I think you just need this is a stronger light. I don't know if the top one's on 3.
So this puppy's giving me a little more zhuzh, if you will. I got this fella.
You can get one from beloved IKEA. Like leave this one in here if this is better, and just get another one.
Oh yeah, we can totally do it.
Just move it. I mean, it's not heavy.
It's not quite working for me yet, but I think if we work on it a little bit by next week, I will have it.
I don't know how you.
Anywho,
over your head.
Yeah, I just can't have it in a shot, so I'm gonna move that over a little bit.
What do you see in the shot?
The cone, amazingly enough.
So lift that one up. Just lift it up, right?
Well, it's also I want the light on my podium. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. Well, we can plug it in the other side too. This was just a 1 second.
Yeah, we're gonna try it a little better next week, but
I just ran.
And you can see me. You can. It's a gray-ish sort of day outside at the moment, and I think when more sunlight comes, we'll also get more light in the room. But welcome to you all on this Saturday morning, July 11th, 2026, to the 1040th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcastio Programmio of the Stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, and of course all of you watching at home, and my darling and adorable and helpful wife who helps me out with noises and helps me out with lighting things and pretty much everything else in my life.
We thought for today's podcasting. Like you
really?
Bubble, I put
oh, that's right, yeah. Because that's what we're doing. We were a radio program for about 17 years. And then for the past 8 or 9 years, we've been here doing this as a video, the Dave's Gone By program. Oh, that looks better. I should just sit back. The Dave's Gone By mix of humor and talk and interviews and culture and all the usual stuff that we've been doing since 2002. And this is a kind of a typical show because we have a guest, we have our stuff from Colorado, we'll talk a bit about Maryland, and of course we get filthy and tasteless and sick and disgusting too. That's what we're all about here in the neighborhood.
No, when you get up later, when you come back from something.
Well, no, because we want to talk about the very, very big thing that happened on Saturday.
You can replay it.
Literally, we rushed through. Excuse me.
You want a drink? You want a drink?
I have water here.
Use that as a hot dog. And
Okay.
Joey. And then Joey's, that's the mouth of teeth.
Oh, well, I can also use this as the hot dog. So, we rushed through the end of last week's program because we wanted to see, or as best we could, try to find a live stream of what was going on Coney Island, excuse me, on July 4th. It was July 4th, 2026, the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. Yay. But more importantly, it was the Nathan's annual hot dog eating, gorging contest, featuring their 2 biggest, most famous eaters of all time, Mickey Sudo on the women's side, and of course, the great Joey the Jaws Chestnut on the men's side. And you heard us talking last week about my excitement about this event, and that because it was so friggin' hot, we were still just at the tip or the end of that heat dome that we all suffered through all up and down the East Coast last week. And it was outdoors in the blazing sunshine. It was like 99 degrees in the middle of Coney Island at Nathan's. So you know the heat is going to take a toll on all the eaters, Joey Chestnut included.
Yeah.
And it was
And
also,
even the feed, the people filming lost the feed.
yeah, because it
And
was
the one
so
guy
hot.
was so hot he walked away. Remember, we saw him leaving. He's like, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
He
maybe,
just
yeah, because his phone was, he was
Yeah.
trying to, some guy, because we don't have ESPN, we don't have that on our cable. Then we don't even have cable. We just have a Samsung TV that is kind enough to give us a bunch of channels. But without ESPN, we're casting about trying to find ABC TV. For the first time, was actually covering the event, but we don't have regular ABC. So I'm going on YouTube. My wife is currently frantically going on YouTube, like, who's coming? Because over the years, there have been people in Coney Island and on local rooftops who have the perfect right to aim their cameras, aim their phones at the Nathan's area, at the Nathan's hot dog stand, and capture the magic live, right? But the problem with them very often is they're far away, and they're zooming, so the pan is going all over the place, or in this case, the heat was making their phones zap.
Yes.
And also because thousands of people who don't get cable and TV and ESPN, ABC, are suddenly tuning in, and they don't have the bandwidth. And then you start watching, it's like, yeah, they're going to eat some hot dogs. And suddenly, spinny wheel, spinny wheel, spinny wheel, spinny. And then half the people who said they were broadcasting live the event, suddenly we're seeing people walking along the boardwalk of Coney Island.
Yeah, they're leaving.
What the fuck? That's not what I'm tuning in for.
People are leaving. The one guy was like, he said, I'm just leaving. I can't take the heat. Yeah.
Yeah, no, even then, it was something that, was this pre-recorded? They're literally about to gorge
Yeah.
on Nathan's dogs, and we're just seeing a parade of people a quarter mile away walking around Coney Island. This is not the contest. This is not what I paid zero money to watch, ladies and gentlemen. But we did. I don't know how we found, but we did find one guy who managed to get it. Who managed to, so we were able to watch it live, yeah.
Was it the one who was sitting inside? The one was in like some kind of ice cream shop. Remember, they were inside.
Well,
shooting
there was one guy who was shooting at the Jumbotron that they had.
Yes.
That was helpful for a while, but then he went away.
Yeah.
And then somebody finally got a decent shot where you could kind of tell what was going
I
on.
wonder if they shoe them.
Oh, I don't know. Because there used to be a guy about
Are
three...
you live?
I'm sorry?
Are you live?
I should be live on Facebook.
Because I'm not getting the live thing. Let me go out and then again.
Yeah, please make sure. I'm recording, and I thought I saw myself live
It just could be me.
going on the stream, but...
It could be me, David.
But as we said, because of also the heat, and because, especially Joey, there's still no one who approaches him in terms of quantity and quality of wiener consumption.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, babe.
You got, look, our old friend Stan.
Stan, I know, I wrote to him a couple of weeks ago. Stan is back. Stan! Hey, how about grafting my head on Joey Chestnut's body
Oh, God.
and having me like cram hot dogs into Hebrew
You
National?
would eat
So.
like eclairs, or you would probably eat like rib. No, ribs, it would be hard because you have to chew them.
Boneless ribs.
You could eat sushi. You would be a good sushi
Oh, my
eater.
God, yeah.
But I think the wasabi would burn.
We probably don't bother with wasabi. It's just,
Or ginger.
it'd be dry.
What could you eat? Pasta? What would be like
Oh, I could do like butterscotch pudding.
Oh, God. I often think if you get sick while eating, that would be horrible.
I actually asked this question of my wife, kind of knowing the answer, earlier in the week.
Yeah.
But I thought, when albino people vomit,
Oh, God.
does the vomit come out white? And I sort of knew the answer was no, but I had to put that out there. It was sort of, all of them, there's no pigmentation. Maybe their puke is pigment-free. I doubt it. I doubt it rather highly. But anywho, but the thing about Joey is that for the past 15 years, except for one time, he's been unbeatable.
Yeah, that's
Not even close. Which means that when he's...
What
Yes.
happened when they beat him? When they beat him?
There was one time I think he was kind of under the weather or something, and it was Matt Stoney.
I mean, he won the time when he even fought off the people.
Yes,
I mean,
easily.
Yeah, he's aggressive.
He's the goat. He is the eater goat. There was a Japanese guy 25 years ago, fine, but...
But you notice even the announcer, he's over the top, but he was pretty quiet too. But the announcer's usually more like You know, and then heaven opened, and from the
he did that.
You know, the bosom of heaven came Joey, and the hot dog shuddered like he was more
Well-
extravagant. He wasn't.
Well, the hot dog, the carnival,
stand for you.
the Barker guy is getting older,
But also
and it's
he's
100 degrees out there.
Yeah.
And he's probably been out there since 5 a.m. because that's the day, right? That's the Nathan's Hot Dog Day. But because Joey doesn't have a
I don't
real...
understand.
Yeah.
Says Coney. He said, you know, woohoo, Coney Island mentioned. I miss you both.
Mm-hmm.
Coney Island is the real beginning of the United States.
I would imagine Plymouth Rock
Yes.
first, maybe some area in lower Texas, or no, Texas is kind of landlocked. Where else? Louisiana? Might be Maine? Not sure. Could be. But because Joey doesn't have a straight up real competitor, like there's no one. Joey's not doing
What's
70.
the guy, the small kid who did it, and then he left the country.
Oh, he stopped. Yeah, he stopped. There was this whole documentary about Joey and another Japanese
that
kid.
Was good.
Yeah, it was very good.
Why does he not compete? Did they ban him?
I think he got into different kinds of eating or different other things.
Yeah, you're right. He said, I think he went to school or something.
And then one time, this happened with Joey. He went to another competitive whatever, and that broke the rules of Nathan's, which isn't even Nathan's anymore. Did you know that? Nathan's was bought up last year
I'll look it up.
by some other food company.
Who owns Nathan's Hot Dogs now?
I need my glasses for this now, or maybe not.
You have them?
Packaged meat giant. I've had glasses. And if you've ever had your meat packaged, you know how delightful that can be. Smithfield Foods acquired Nathan's Famous in a $450 million all-cash deal. Smithfield has the rights
All
to the
cash?
cash. Somebody rolled up in a Brinks truck.
I mean, if you transfer money more than X amount, you have the IRS. How do you walk in with that much
With the
cash?
450, very carefully.
Yeah.
and 4 million of it was in pennies. So that really.
It was all in hot dog buns.
So the acquisition
Look, they put it in the ketchup dispenser and they just.
in $100 bills, like. Smithfield has the rights to the iconic brand in perpetuity.
What?
And they already had the license to produce and sell Nathan's hot dogs since 2014. So Nathan's dogs were actually being put out by Smithfield for 10 years, or 13 years already.
Yeah.
It's just that now everything, it's Smithfield, but they're logoing it still as Nathan's.
Have you seen the packaging for that? Is a different
Yeah,
packaging?
they're using, at least according to this, it's
same
Nathan's. It's still the yellow with the green and the cognac. Yeah.
I think they'd be foolish to change it.
Exactly, of course. Oh, they will, as everything changes at some point.
But it's so
Everything's
it's
tweaks.
iconic, right?
Yeah, but thing about Joey is that because he does not have a direct competitor,
That's sad, yeah.
he doesn't have some like Joey will do 70 hot dogs. There's nobody there doing like 68, and like
What's the
which will
next
give
one?
him the competitive like.
The next one is 50?
No, this one's like mid 50s. I think
So why
yeah.
does he even try so hard then? I mean,
That's the thing. If he doesn't think he's gonna go for the record,
Yes.
like if he's going for the record, which Joey has broken like 10 times, but not the last couple of years. Okay, he's got the. Otherwise, mentally, whatever, he's like, I'm not gonna break a record.
No.
I'm gonna win. He'll know that within 3 minutes. I don't have to do 75 dogs. I can do 67 dogs and we'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So it takes some of the thrill. It takes some of the like, Joey out of it.
But there probably are people betting on him, so.
Oh yeah. Well, they bet on him the over/under.
What does that mean in English?
It means like, is he going to do 67 and a half, more or less?
Betting 66.5. What did he
Oh, so,
get?
yeah, 66.5 was it?
That was the people who.
Which he beat.
I didn't understand it, but the people who were talking on that show, on that
Oh, on the video thing,
yeah, they were saying that. They were saying 66.5.
And I think he did ultimately 66 dogs this year. Last year, he did 70 and a half hot dogs.
Wow,
and
today you got everybody right, Mr.
Oh,
Mr.
all right, hello.
Trevor.
He did 70 and a half hot dogs last year, again, in just 10 minutes. And Mickey Sudo, the female champ, she did 38.
But same thing with
30.
her, like if everyone else is doing 10, some of them do 1. I mean, it's like,
I mean, go back and watch some old porn. Marilyn Chambers did like 39 penises in 10 minutes. This is nothing. This is nothing. We need someone beyond Mickey Sudo now. But Stan Rice...
They have to monetize it. Like if you say that if you win this contest and every 10 hot dogs you get an additional $1,000, they would up it. Like you'd have to say like, but it might also make them more sick. But you could say like every
5
hot dog over, for the whatever over 50, you get $5 or something.
By the way, my wife is using very low numbers, but I don't know if you realize that Joey or whoever wins the male hot dog eating contest gets $10,000. Everything else, all the other money he makes, he's probably a millionaire now, is just from ancillary. Yeah,
the physical health stuff and the.
You have to be a certain kind of. Look at boxers. So they take unbelievable physical punishment. They're in great condition, but they'll get in the head 20 times.
You have two, so you can be an expert on one of two things.
Oh yes.
You can either be an expert on mini golf or cornhole.
Or
we have another maybe.
But how do you mean an expert?
You can start practicing, and then we'll get you in some competitive things.
Oh, I see. To actually be, I would probably be. I would have more fun with mini golf than cornhole. Because I think there's more challenge and more fun with a windmill. Or here's our screaming ferret friend. Does he work? I think you push down on him, he goes up. Or isn't he supposed to come up or something?
No, he just yells.
He's like a
That's Phil Fowl.
yeah.
Garbage chicken.
But I do want to acknowledge so many of the folks who are watching, like Trevor. Good morning, Trevor. Good morning, Dave. How are you and your beautiful wife doing? Hoping everything's going well. If you're thinking about getting back on radio, please let me know. Trevor, I tried to contact you like a year ago when I was doing the 1,000th episode. So I was, but happy. But thank you, Trevor. It's so great to hear from you. Let's see. I just got some hearts. No, I think I touched my phone and gave myself some hearts. It's hard to tell. Did I? No, somebody gave me a heart. I don't know what the hell. No, I gave myself a heart. Aww. Well, I always give myself a heart on.
If you don't love yourself, who will?
And if aina neely mealy. And yeah, my teeth are a little bit mealy after breakfast. But
Stan says check your PMs. What does that mean, Stan?
I check my BMs every morning. Had a good one today. Or did I? No, that was yesterday.
Oh, God.
What?
Stan sent you a photo.
Is it me? It's Joey?
It's.
Yeah! Oh, I gotta see this. Thank you, Stan, whatever it is. Oh. God bless you, Stan.
How does he do
God
that?
bless
How
you.
does he, number one, know how to do that and do that so quickly? You could turn it the other way and make it, just increase it.
Well, I got pretty close to the, there it is. It looks absolutely, this is AI now, or Stan in Photoshop. It's like, how the hell? It looks absolutely like I'm doing it. It looks absolutely real.
Here, let me,
Now, Stan, can you Photoshop my face onto, what was this, Airsoft Fatty?
Oh, God, no.
The guy who vomited lemonade last year? Let's see you do that. If you can get, like, lemonade streaming out my mouth.
You look great, David. Wow.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Thank you, Stan.
You're looking good.
Not only did Stan, he put a really nice picture of me.
You look great.
Why, thank you. Of course, my wife would say that. My wife and my mom, the only people in the whole world who would ever say I look great.
I didn't know that you were the champion, but it was 2024, so.
Yeah, I was younger.
But no, it was a good year for you. The next 2 years, you let others win. Yeah.
But congratulations to Joey and to Mickey Sudo. She's a really sweet, gracious champion. So I just wish she were doing more, so it'd be more exciting to root for her. She's done more than 50 in years past, and now she's down to 38. Joey's in the mid-60s. We need challengers.
Or what would be interesting to me if they did a team. Like, I'd like to see team eating. Because like it's getting pretty boring, and then no one's going to beat Joey. But maybe you have a team like Joey's exceptional, and maybe Joey's so exceptional you have a team against Joey. And the team, because if they each eat 30 or 35, they could...
Well, not a team against it, but two teams of... Kind of like, is it the Masters? Where do the golfers do the thing where they're in pairs or
I don't know sports.
I think it is. That's a really, really cool idea. Yeah. One team against another. You have the anorexics against the bulimics, and you just see who vomits first. But you're actually not disqualified, unlike in the Nathan's contest. In Nathan's, you are.
Yeah.
But if you get anorexics and bulimics, is that maybe you don't even count the food. You just weigh the vomit.
But they wouldn't eat.
Whoever has the most dense vomit wins. What?
There must be a different way they could do it.
There probably is a different way they can do it. Anywho, but you haven't even seen my shirt. Yeah. You haven't even seen my shirt. This would have been July 4th, of course. Like, Thanksgiving is the day it's a bad day to be a turkey. Bad day to be a hot dog. We actually got this at Michael's this week. It was on sale.
I love it. It's so pretty. It's just, I love the font. It's so pretty.
Yeah. I mean, I can wear it literally only today or on July 4th.
Anytime you're invited to, like, if a barbecue or cookout or outdoor event. Yeah. Or you could wear it like it's like a dad shirt, so you could wear it on the weekend. It's a...
Hey, I guess I could wear it around town.
A bad day to be a hot dog just means you're going to have a cookout.
True.
It's just a cookout event.
Of course.
It's a worse day to be a hot dog at a hot dog eating contest. That's the worst. But anytime, like, if you're shopping, it could be a bad day to be a hot dog.
Oh, right. If I'm in that aisle with the Oscar Mayer and all. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because it's like I'm such a social hermit. I think the last time I was invited to a cookout was like my aunt 10 years ago. I mean, I've been wanting. I'm still so incredibly disappointed and upset that for the last couple of years I've been applying to win a smoker.
Oh, the green egg. Right.
The green egg smoker from Mission Barbecue.
I just wish they would change the thing to something you like.
Well, the thing was, because a couple of times a year, Mission Barbecue will fill out the email form, and you could win a barbecue smoker, outdoor barbecue smoker. It was like, yes, right? And what's cool?
Oh my God, he did it.
Did he do me as airsoft fatty? Yes, he did. Thank you, Stan.
Tell them the story. They don't know who that is.
Well, if you were watching last week, we were showing clips of previous hot dog eating contests, and before the hot dog eating, there's lemonade.
He was a smack talker.
Was he really?
He was like, I'm going to beat... Who's the guy who raps? The big guy who raps?
Oh, Booker.
Booker.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to beat him. He's like a lightweight. He can't do it. So he was smack talking him all up and down the boardwalk.
Yeah. Meanwhile, so airsoft fatty is probably about 400 pounds.
450.
Squat 450.
No, I mean the other guy's 450.
Well, Booker's huge, but airsoft fatty, there's a reason he's not called airsoft medium. He's like airsoft skinny. He's this very large, squat guy.
He's a big boy.
And he's there to chug lemonade, which he does.
I think he was like an influencer first.
Oh, yeah, who's so he's there to prove himself, and he does. He guzzles about maybe a third of a jug of lemonade, but it's really hot out. It was even last year. And suddenly he's like, he puts the lemonade down, and wah! Explosively.
And the bad thing was he was doing it on stage. So they're trying to move to other people, but they're like shoulder to shoulder. So then he would vomit, spit out the lemonade, stand up, spit it out, stand up, spit it out, about 5 times, and then a security guard came and put his hand on his shoulder and took him out. And as he's
walking down the steps away from the podium, he's still vomiting.
He's vomiting. He's like, it's vomit, but it's just
he's just drunk it. There's no digestion yet. It's just lemonade that went in coming out. It came out. Ladies and gentlemen, like this.
Oh, God.
Oh, Stan, I love you. Looks like I'm eating a giant fish.
No, it does not. The motion is the other way. Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful? Oh, Stan. Oh, Stan, thank you. Thank you. You are the man. You are Stan the man.
He is. That's incredible. Yeah, you could. You want to make it here.
We have the best fans, I gotta tell you, of this program.
Don't
have a lot of fans, but the ones we have are chirps. Yeah. Oh, indeed.
And the weird part is he never came back.
Oh, so we didn't see the lemonade this year. I don't think he did.
We did. He didn't. It was the guy who raps, the really heavy guy. He won.
Booker won again, of course.
Yeah, I don't even see it. I didn't.
Whatever happened to Airsoft Fatty? Is he still?
I can look if he's still with us. I mean, he was not doing well. Clearly.
Yeah. Maybe changed to Kool-Aid.
Let's see. What happened to Airsoft Fatty? Oh, his life went downhill.
Oh, what happened? No, what happened? He's alive.
He's lost weight.
Oh, no. Oh, heavens, no.
He's 200.
Whoa. He weighs now only 200 pounds?
Yeah.
That's normal. Did he have surgery or what? His life did not go downhill at all. How's he doing? I forget his real name, by the way. He is not Airsoft Fatty on his birth certificate.
You don't know that. It's Reddit.
I was just, let me see. I can probably do that.
Let me find him on Wikipedia, maybe I'll find it.
Well, let me see. Now we've got a video. Oh, it's a 24-minute video?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to show that.
Let me see.
Oh.
What?
Someone said his mother died, which is obviously a terrible thing.
Let me look and see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to watch. Maybe after the show's over, we can all watch the video of Airsoft. I don't know if he has a wiki page. He might not be quite famous enough from that meme, from that moment.
I think he's 29.
Yeah.
He was in a movie called Full Force.
Okay.
It says he's
How does he bomb it? Full force. Yeah.
Not a lot.
No, we'll have to watch the bio.
What's his real name?
Oh, I forgot it.
Christopher LaFon.
Christopher LaFon. So we missed him. He brought the LaFon to last year's hot dog eating contest, and would have been good to have him at this one. Not that this one was bad. It was a very typical, as my wife says, sort of subdued. And there were a lot of dudes who were eating no, they weren't eating subs. A hot dog doesn't count as a sub. Please do not hold me to that joke. Joke did not work. I was trying for a thing of a sub and a hot dog. Did not happen. I apologize. By the way, it's 9:30 in the morning Eastern time here in the Daverhood with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and adorable wife, Stan, and other folks watching from the gallery. We're doing the 1040th episode of the Dave's Gone By program, which we are calling, here's our title this week, Goldilocks. Goldie, LOX. Because Rabbi Sol Solomon, the one, the only, the Jewish, the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York, and who has been with us since our very first episode, and who does our sermons, our rabbinical reflections. He also does some other things for us. He did Storytime last week. He will be doing Storytime for us also this week. Today, as a matter of fact. When I say this week, it's like now, today. But Rabbi Sol will be with us, bringing big emotions to a bigger God, reading Storytime. God, I feel sad.
Oh wait.
So yes, Storytime. Rabbi Sol will read this book, which is by Michelle Neitert, who, by the way, is an LPC-S. Not just a regular LPC, but an LPC, it's a licensed something, and by Tamar Fortner. So we have at least one Jew writing this book. Rabbi Sol Solomon will read it, comment upon it in his Hebraical way.
I think now they have shrimp, black plate special shrimp on the bar.
Again with the shrimp! One with the shrimp!
I know someone who loves that special. It's their favorite. Not you, but another person.
Who? Oh, you're right. Don't say names. Cool.
She said it's very tasty and it's refreshing in summer.
It is tasty. But you get like 8 shrimp for $14. Thank you very much, Mission Barbecue.
I like shrimp.
Yeah, they won't give me a free smoker, right? And
I don't think they just give out free smokers to people. It's not like, would you like a free fountain drink or a free smoker? I don't think
no. But first of all, there's one winner for every single franchise. It's not just one person wins a smoker from all the Mission Barbecues everywhere. It's like there's a Mission Barbecue in this town and that town, and each one is giving away a smoker. But then I never won, and B, now they don't even do that. Now they have a friggin' picnic cooler that you win. Like, it's just picnic shit and stuff. I'm like, I want a smoker!
everybody has different things.
But I didn't win. I never win that.
If you got the smoker, you could wear maybe go in there today with your, well, no, it's ribs. They don't have hot dogs, do they? Maybe for the kids they do.
I think they might. I think actually Mission does do, or maybe not all the time, but I think they do.
I was going to say you could wear it,
Or they might have sausage. But, and their black plate special is shrimp again, as opposed to prime rib, or rib, prime rib, or as opposed to some of their espresso rubbed steaks that they will do. So, naughty Mission Barbecue. But anyway, speaking of Rabbi Sol Solomon and reading Storytime with God, I Feel Sad, he feels very, very happy because he's going to be interviewing live on this very program a cabaret star named Goldie Dver. D-V-E-R. I've been mispronouncing it for 30 years. Goldie Dver. She has been, well, the main thing is that you can see her. She is going to be live, when is it? This Wednesday, July 15th, hosting and putting together something called It Takes Two Cabaret Duos and Duets. And that is happening at, of course, Don't Tell Mama. She also has a CD called Sweet Beginnings. And as Rabbi Sol points out again and again,
What?
One of our friends of the Daverhood is radio host Joey Reynolds. Joey, Italian guy, but he was on the radio on WOR, like a major New York station, for many, many years, including overnights. And one of the things that he would do in the later hours is there'd be an Italian hour, this hour. He did a Jewish hour. And Goldie Dver was an actual regular on the Joey Reynolds Jewish hour on WOR radio. So we're going to be talking about that, of course, with Goldie Dver, also about her cabaret show, all the cabaret stuff she does, and...
what time is that?
She's coming on at 10.
Oh, good, okay, it's at 9:30. I was like, oh.
No, and some other questions about her life. She's a cancer survivor. She lost her husband at some point, so ups and downs of a person's life, and a talented musical person at that. Goldie Dver talking to Rabbi Sol Solomon, hence the title of this episode.
Is she in something now?
Yeah,
The cabaret or
she's in the cabaret on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Oh, this Wednesday, wow.
Yeah, Wednesday the 15th. So, and that's why we're calling the show Goldie LOX. LOX for the Jewishness of both of them, and Goldie for being Goldie. Anyway,
Is that her nickname or her real name?
No, her real name was... I don't know if I have that on here. It's on her bio, and I apologize, I don't recall.
Ask.
I will. We will. It's on her website. It's on the biomaterials that she sent me, and her late husband was named Dver, so that's where she got that last name. Plus,
I want to look up the word of the day.
Oh yeah. Well, are we doing dictionary?
I'm just looking it up. You don't have to know.
We also have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where, and
Webster word of the day.
I thoroughly apologize for this. Last week, we were in such a rush.
Honey.
What? What's the word of the day? What? Okay. Last week we were in such a rush to get off the air that I had to cancel. I had to not do our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. I couldn't get out of bed half the week. I was just so distraught. So this week, we're going to do it. It's Copper Spur, Colorado. I have a poem about it, a disgusting, evil poem. I will share it. Holy crap.
What? I never heard that. Have you?
I don't know if I'm going to do, this may force me to do Dave's Big Dictionary, but it's xeric. Here it is, folks. Xeric, Xeric. Merriam-Webster, in order to promote itself, chooses a word of the day to share and define what it means. Xeric is characterized by relating to or requiring only a small amount of moisture. Kind of like a teenage girl in the backseat of a car. She is a botanist who primarily studies xeric plants. Like cacti, I guess. They can.
Oh, yeah, that's a great example.
Right. Needing a fraction of the water, let's say, that bluegrass would demand if you have grass like a xeric.
Is it only for
plants? It seems like a purely plant-oriented.
They never pick a word like that, right?
No. Good for them. Well, they've been doing this word of the day for a couple of years now. They're running out of frickin' words. They had to go, I don't know. There's nothing with X. Find an X. All right, we got an X.
I think,
yeah.
Who's the guy who does the,
Xeric.
Who's the guy who does the painting? He did a fish painting today.
Oh, our Paul Schlosser.
Thank you, yes.
Our wonderful friend of the Daverhood who painted me. Thank you, Art Paul. He's still doing. What's kind of wonderful is that he has been doing a painting a day every day, and he set himself the challenge of doing that for an entire year. 365, 1 out of 365, 2 out of 365. Once he got past 365, he kept going. And now he's into day, my God, well, the year's half over. So he's got to be into day almost 500 now, and he's still doing a painting a day. And some of them are great, some of them are meh, and some of them are beyond great. So a big shout out to Art Paul. And also, actually, I've been noticing, I've wanted to get my cousin on this show for years and years, my cousin Jody, who is a crafts person. She actually worked for Martha Stewart for many, many years. She's been on TV and stuff. And she's set herself a thing of doing like a watercolor or some kind of sketch every day. And she's well past day 100 now. So
everybody's doing that. Maybe it's a thing where you have to do.
Yeah. I pick a booger a day. Every day I just go in there. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes just hang in there, low-hanging fruit. And sometimes I got to go in there with like a power drill just to go all the way into the sinus and get it down. But I've been doing it. I have. I'm quite proud of myself, as I should not be. Anyway, we got more stuff to talk about in a little bit. Maybe we'll save that and get to our...
It's 9:41. I forgot you said 10, right? Okay.
So our guest is coming on. So let's get the Non-Greeley Times going. Let me explain this. For many years, we have done a segment called Greeley Times, based on crazy, ridiculous stories, or they're published in the Greeley Tribune.
They were.
People calling the Greeley Police Department saying, this crazy thing's happening in the neighborhood. Well, apparently the Greeley Police Department is understaffed, and...
Look, AI, just on your Facebook, you were saying everything just turned AI. It says, turn this into a tarot card.
No, please don't.
No, I didn't. Turn this into a comic strip. Turn this into a vintage movie poster.
Ooh, I might like that. But Greeley Times no longer... They stopped doing what they call cop log in the Greeley Tribune because... Not because they were lazy at the paper, supposedly, but because the police stopped having a person who would do this, put the blogger out, strip the identifiers, I guess, send it to the press, whatever. And they were kind of too lazy at the Greeley Tribune to do the Cora. She said, well, why don't you do the Cora? I'm like, why don't you do the Cora? I'm not in a newspaper. Whatever. So now there's no more official cop log entries in the Greeley Tribune, and we don't have that to pull from. But we still have crazy, ridiculous news stories from all around the world. And instead of calling it cop log, we now call it Greeley Time. I'm so used to saying it. Non-Greeley Times. And we will begin with... That's the thing, they're not even phone calls anymore, but we'll go with that. Here's an elsewhere from Charlotte, North Carolina. And this was reported, by the way, by the New York Post. Singer Noah Kahan, he's apparently quite famous. He went on X to urge fans, I don't know why you have to do this. Singer Noah Kahan went on X to urge fans to use the restroom at his shows.
Why not?
Well, he was responding to a video that appeared to show poop being dropped on the floor at his tour stop at Citizens Bank Park in Charlottesville.
You mean why would someone make doo-doo in front of other people?
Have you ever been in a crowd of 4,000 people and can't get to anywhere else?
I don't think that was the case. I think you can hold your poo-poo. You could also poo-poo your pants.
And have done. If you have to poop at a show, wrote Kahan on his X feed, please, dear God, just go to the bathroom, LMAO. Laughing my crap-covered ass off. He added, quote, by the way, this is a famous singer saying, quote, I've pooped my pants as much as the next 29-year-old. How often is that? I think in my life, maybe as a child 2 or 3 times, and as an adult, once.
I believe when people drink, and they drink and eat, they get very, or maybe,
Or who knows. But I pooped my pants as often as the next 29-year-old. How often is that? Is anybody here watching under 30 or just over 30 and can give me a round number? Is it under 5? Is it a dozen?
That's normal, yeah.
But understand that there is a venue worker out there in the concert hall.
Oh, God.
With a 1,000-yard stare after dealing with that.
Poor person. That's like a nasty.
Beautifully put. Kahan even admitted... He even admitted to soiling himself while performing on stage. This is like the TMI generation. It really is. I'm all about TMI.
He's making it worse and worse, David.
Like everything about this show is TMI. But this is like a pop star. He admitted to soiling himself while performing on stage during a stop in Charlottesville, Virginia. And he said, that's because I'm dedicated to my craft, unquote.
If you have to poop, you just step away and go.
I think he's dedicated to his crap.
Can't you just play the
get
song,
there.
Get to the end and go?
Yeah, he's got a band. He's got pre-recorded tracks.
Don't musicians have a break to change clothes and to urinate or go?
Well, they have intermission. They do, but sometimes even the Stones, Mick Jagger can go off stage while Keith takes one of his songs. Keith is doing "You Got the Silver," and Mick is peeing gold somewhere. Yeah, but. By the way.
Maybe they should wear diapers.
Well, listen to this. Kahan is not the only pop star to acknowledge fecal faux pas. I wrote that. Olivia Rodrigo, also probably more famous than he is, told a radio interviewer, quote, I've been to concerts and festivals where people wear diapers so they can be front row of the show. It's an experience of a performer that I have smelled. So she's not admitting to doing it herself. She's just gotten some fragrance from the front row of the audience. Yeah.
But they have to have better bathroom access.
Well, I do wonder. We've talked about this. How do people who come to Times Square on New Year's Eve at 10 in the morning, right? What do they do? What are they diapered?
I assume so.
Yeah. And that's if they're just number one. They're there. There's probably people handing out snacks and water. They got drinks so they don't. If it's a warm December day, what do they do? Okay, in the morning maybe there's 5,000 people there. By 9 o'clock at night, there's tens of thousands of people at Times Square. There's nowhere to go or to save your place. How does it work? How do you do that? I don't get it.
I couldn't do it.
Anyway.
5 minutes, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah, really. And at my age now, I'm not even sleeping through the night anymore. 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, well, I think I better. Anyway, we have a call from, all the way across the pond, Derby in the United Kingdom. This is reported by Shepherd Express. Now, this is not as bad as the idea of the human centipede.
Oh, God.
However, the 10 members of a British running club attempted a half marathon as a group while they were all together wearing a caterpillar costume.
Oh,
God. I love this. The Tutbury Running Club. They took on the Ramathon Half Marathon.
That's crazy. Do they have to dress as someone?
Oh, I don't think so. While wearing a 60-foot caterpillar costume made from sections of children's play tunnels. Speaking of where people eat poop.
How could they run
coordinatedly?
No, that's not good. It's not going to end well.
Said club member Craig Robson, quote, "It was a logistical nightmare." Really? Really? You figure?
Yeah.
Especially since players were unable to practice together before the race.
Oh, come on. You were going to rehearse that kind of stuff.
You know what? Do you think you can get that up? Tutbury, Tutbury Derby Caterpillar.
Tutbury Derby Caterpillar Marathon Race.
I just want to see if we have a video or an image of.
It says they successfully.
What?
Yep.
They did it? Oh, actually, I have that in my next line, but yeah.
So hold on.
Please tell me there's footage of this or pictures of this.
Images.
Oh, my wife is shaking her head. Let's take a look at the Tutbury.
They should have practiced.
It really is the human caterpillar.
They should have practiced, but I guess they didn't need to. What it's
yeah, they did it. All right, so here they are. Team Tutbury did finish the race in just over 2 hours. What was it? How many?
It's a lot of people.
10 people wearing this costume. And they have, by the way, applied to the Guinness Book of Records for fastest half marathon in a 10-person costume. Oddly enough, this is a category that doesn't exist yet. Weirdly enough, this has not been done. Because, and then is it going to be like an 11-person?
You know, like the dragon. You know.
Oh, like the Chinese do on Chinese New Year, where they go dancing around the thing. Mm-hmm. I guess. But Guinness is so like okay, so they get it. Let's say they get into the Guinness Book of World.
What does it mean? Like it says here, they.
What?
Wow. Children's play tunnels. Good God.
Yeah, but let's say they get it. Let's say they get into.
I feel bad for those kids.
What kids?
They took some kids' play tunnels.
Well, they can put them back. Well, no, they can't really put them back. I don't think they're going to survive the race. But let's say they win. Let's say they did finish. Let's say they get into the Guinness Book of World Records for the 10-person costume finishing a semi-marathon. If next year, is there going to be like an 11-person costume and then they file for the Guinness, or 11-person and they finish a quarter marathon? It's just like, I can't even. Anyway, we move from the United Kingdom over to New Zealand. Ooh, get your Kiwis out, ladies and gentlemen. We go to Queen Creek, New Zealand.
Does it involve?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I read this completely. Even with my glasses, I read this wrong. I'm sorry, folks. Not New Zealand. Arizona. I have AZ and I read it as NZ.
Oh, my God. Arizona and New Zealand are very different.
They certainly are. I'm sorry. This is Queen Creek, Arizona. So, using blue balloons or pink balloons for gender reveal parties is so last year.
Oh, really?
An expecting couple in Queen Creek, Arizona contracted the services of Sacred Dove Release.
Oh, no. I've seen these go so wrong.
The couple wanted the birds, it actually didn't really go that wrong, but the couple wanted the birds to be dyed blue, which the company was happy to do. Well, Mazel Tov.
How do you do that? You spray paint them?
How do they do it with dogs? You put a
bird,
or you wash them in a special food coloring thing. Well, Mazel Tov, the couple had a boy, and they released the blue doves.
Okay.
Which is when Crystal's Critter Haven a local wildlife rehab facility, panicked and went into action. See, blue doves don't exactly blend into the Arizona landscape.
Oh, no.
Which makes them really, really easy prey.
No! Oh, no!
For predatory things that eat doves, right? Oh. Well, you keep saying, oh no, but we both like dove bars. Anywho, so.
But that's not going to end well, I feel it.
Actually, it ended pretty well. So, Crystal's Critter Haven somehow.
How did they get word of it? Are they tracking for like dove release during a gender reveal?
Somebody probably looked out a window and said, it's like, what's going on? How come there's so many bluebirds? Oh, those are not bluebirds. They're birds that are blue? Well, they were able to collect the birds.
Wow, how?
I don't know how anybody does that. Yeah, they got them. I don't know. These weren't homing pigeons. These were doves, but they got them. And then they tried washing off the dye, which was simply non-toxic blue food coloring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But still, not all the ink came off. And the Haven, they're not quite PETA people.
Tell me the name of it.
Crystal's Critter Haven.
Blue Dove Gender Reveal, Crystal's Critter Haven, Arizona. I don't see. It has the info. It's closed now, so we can't.
Oh, is this the doves? Oh my God! Whoa!
I know.
They are very beautiful.
Yeah.
But I can understand why this is. Why, like any fox would be like, I'm a little peck. Oh my! Wow! Thank you, God. This thing can't hide, because doves are like gray brown. They can blend into anything. It is beautiful, but the Haven does say that it is not a good idea to color birds, even with non-toxic.
They do balloons or they have fireworks. I've seen that a lot.
But they're saying food coloring thing or any kind of dye is a bad idea because birds, they're tiny. Their systems are very sensitive. It isn't good for them. And sacred.
My God, they have a But Something's sketchbook and where you can color, a coloring book for But Somethings. As
well they should. Anyway, Sacred Dove promises not to colorize their aviary again. So all's well. Actually, that did end well with this story. And hey, Mazel Tov, they had a boy. So not that would be bad if they had a girl, but a boy. Anywho, next call comes from. Now this really is very far away. We're going all the way to Japan for this story reported by Shepherd Express. It comes from the Shizuoka Prefecture in Japan. Funny, you don't get postcards from, here we are in beautiful Shizuoka Prefecture, Japan. Now, here's the deal. If there's a question you don't want to know the answer to, don't ask.
Oh, no. Does it involve blue doves?
Something a little bit grosser.
Oh, great.
And you can buy it from your grocer. What is your secret? People would ask this of the owner of Wakatori Restaurant. How do you make that award-winning fried chicken? The answer? Frying.
Oh, here.
What, yeah.
Goldie wrote you too, everyone.
Oh, hey, Goldie. Well, she should be coming with us in about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Oh, good, yeah. Hey, Goldie. Yeah, great. So, what is the answer? They're asking Wakatori Restaurant. What is the secret to your award-winning fried chicken? The answer? The oil they use. That is 66 years old. After social media pushback from answering that question, the owner clarified a little bit and said that the oil they use is cleaned and filtered every night before being added, and it's just a little bit that they add to regular new Wesson whatever oil that they're using.
Yeah.
But they use a little bit of classic, really the old stuff. And he noted that other restaurants follow the same procedure for soups and broths. I mean, remember, this is a culture, or Chinese do that 100-year-old egg thing.
No, but when I was a kid, we were traveling, I think Florida.
Yeah.
And I was allergic to fish.
Oh, yeah.
And I just wanted French fries. It was like McDonald's or something. and I ate it, and afterward, like, I smelled fish. So they must have used the same oil, and I got really sick.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, people, you gotta be careful.
I don't think they're reusing oil. I think they just have this oil that is
like dump stuff
sacred from. And you know what? We can make fun of this and go, oh, they're using the oil that's 16. If you go to a vineyard, and they say, oh, here's a Chateau Neuf de Pape from 1948, you'd be like, whoa!
We learned from Colombo episodes that you have to keep it at the right heat, right tilt. If it gets too warm, it'll just become like
vinegar. Yeah,
so
you got it.
But
if you do it right,
it's not like you just put oil in a vat and you keep it. You
no,
put wine in a vat.
But that's the funny thing. It's like we're disgusted by the idea of using 66-year-old cooking oil, but if you use 80-year-old magnificent red wine.
How do you use it? Because when you get oil and you let it sit, it congeals, right?
Well, I don't know. It would. Well, once you make it cold enough, after you've cooked, it does turn into a fatty sort of thing. But if you keep it in a jar, in a jug, in proper conditions, I guess it stays oil. I'm assuming. I'm guessing. If I sneeze into a handkerchief, it's liquidy for a while and then it dries up. If it's in my nose, it stays liquidy. I guess. I think. I'm not a biologist. I'm not an anatomist. I'm just Dave. Dave Lefkowitz, the host and producer of the Dave's Gone By, Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream, where we have just finished up Greeley Times, the segment that, I even have it written here, Non-Greeley Times on Dave's Gone By, but I still have to play the Greeley out. Where's my Greeley outro? I had it last week.
Cloud.
Where's my cloud? Get into my cloud. Oh, the hell with it. I'm not going to play it. If I had it last week, it played perfectly fine.
Yeah, well, that's life, honey.
Anywho, it is 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time, and you're watching the 1040th episode of the Dave's Gone By program. We're going to have Rabbi Sol Solomon here reading God, I Feel Sad. We'll have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned for Copper Spur, Colorado. We also have some more stuff to talk about. Oh, and I do have, God help us, a brand new song to share. I was busy trying to finish it last night. Brand new parody song in the Daverhood. And this one took a lot out of me. This one, a lot of them are really easy for me. I can think of them, overnight, one night. The title will come into my head, the chorus, and then I'll hash it out the next day. And within a day, I've already got it written out, and maybe even just with a backing track recorded and stuff. But this one took a week. This one is a little tough, but I think in a lot of ways, in all ways, incredibly worth it. One of the songs that's a big hit, and that's all over little Instagram and TikTok memes, is Taylor Swift's The Fate of Ophelia. You know this, everyone knows it's from her Life of a Showgirl album. Well, because my mind works the way it does, there is now a brand new song in the Daverhood called The Pain of Hemophilia. Yeah, taste is never an issue in the Daverhood, so we're going to debut, just for you all, the brand new Daverhood song, The Pain of Hemophilia, written by me, as well as Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. That's coming up later on this very broadcast, so don't go away. We're going to invite now our good friend, or our soon-to-be friend, Goldie Dver. Oh, here, where is she? Oh, she's been waiting. That's why I didn't see her on the thing. She's there, and we're going to bring her in along with Rabbi Sol Solomon to chat about her life, her career, the show that she's doing at Don't Tell Mama this Wednesday night. So let's hope I can at least find the klezmer on my thing. I did. Oh, here it is. Without further ado or a don't, the one, the only, the Jewish, Rabbi Sol Solomon. the die, the die, die, the die, the die, the die, the die, the dum. Die, the die, the die, the diddly, diggle, diddle, diggle, diddle, diggle, diggle, diddly, diggle, dum. Oh, shalom, my friends. Shalom to you. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sol Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And oh, you know I love music and musical people. And we're getting musical here on this Shabbos morning with a lovely, lovely lady who, let me tell you a little bit about her. She's been a singer really since childhood. She also spent many years as a makeup artist. She was a regular, and I know nothing about that because I'm constantly irregular, but she was a regular on the Joey Reynolds Jewish Hour on WOR Radio in New York. She is also a MAC Award winner for a cabaret benefit she did for Saint Jews. I don't know what you're doing helping saints out. I mean, we're both Jewish here. What the hell? By the way, you gotta unmute your microphone there. We're not hearing anything yet. So just do your microphone thing. Can you do this? Can you do it? Where's that?
There we go.
There we go. Hello. And let me tell you that in reviewing her, Stephen Mosher, the cabaret critic for Broadway World, wrote, and I quote, Goldie Dver has a theatrical voice, rich and reedy, full of vibrato and technique, emotion and gravel, and overwhelming with life. Well, l'chaim to that life here, ladies and gentlemen, is Goldie Dver. Shalom, Goldie.
Shalom. Good morning. How are you, Rabbi?
Oh, you aches, pains, sciatica, bursitis.
Right.
But otherwise, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm Jewish after all. This this is very early in the day for me. I am quite nocturnal, but I'm so happy to join you today.
Wait,
So
wait.
thank you
You
for
do
inviting me.
cabaret shows at 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. How nocturnal can you be? What's the...
Well, first of all, yes, but then you come home, you socialize a little afterwards. You have to do the schmooze, the
Oh
grand
boy, I know.
schmooze
Yeah.
afterwards, and you come home and you're keyed up and wound up from the show. And I've always been nocturnal. So for me to get to bed at like 1, 2 a.m., that's good. And I usually get up around 9, 10, but to be alive and kicking and looking like a person. Did I freeze? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's weird. Your audio is just fine. It's just that and let me, the visual here. We see you, and I'm the little tiny thing. So I need to do the thing here where everybody sees the thing.
Let me see if
Let's
I
do
can
gallery.
connect
That's better.
my, let me
Yeah.
see if I connect my landline, the thing. So, because I think I'll get a
What are you
better.
doing down there? But this is what I do before I go on the air. But
I know,
anywho,
but I didn't think, technology and I are not good friends. So,
we're
but
old
this will take
school.
two
We really are.
seconds.
We're.
This will take just two
We don't know from
seconds.
these newfangled things like AI or
Oh,
8-track tapes or air conditioning. It's too modern for us.
air conditioning, I'm good with. That one I've got licked. But AI, I have not even attempted to start with it yet.
You're gonna have to at some. It's gonna, There's gonna be. You're gonna go to a cabaret show. And it'll be "Don't Tell Mama," and there'll be a robot up there, and it'll be programmed to do Al Martino songs and Dean Martin and the Rodgers and Hammerstein songbook, and the audience will all be robots, and everybody else will be home sleeping.
Yes,
That'll be
how true.
cabaret in 10 years.
How true. Okay, plugged it in, but I
Yeah,
can't find. So let's just hope that this works well. It should. It should be okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You're not freezing now. You're fabulous.
Good.
Great. The
Now,
background
why
is
am
is blurry. I don't know if it's my glasses.
no, I did that purposely.
Oh,
It-
good.
yes.
Just to drive
My
me a little
back,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, it's not particularly special, and it's cleaner this way.
It
Yes.
is. It is. You look great, by the way.
Well,
Shalom to
thank
you.
you. See what a little
So,
makeup can do?
well, yeah. How did you get into doing makeup professionally?
Well, here's the thing. When you first start off in this business, and a lot of times through your career, you're not always earning money enough to support your lifestyle in your performance. So all of us take on different part-time jobs. I tried being a waitress for 6 months.
Yeah.
I like being on the other side of the menu too much. My husband used to say to me that I was happiest when I was in a restaurant with the menu going, waiter, and and that's the truth. So, luckily, I had other skills that were developed, and I started off as a makeup artist as a part-time job, and that progressed through various phases. And I wound up, I don't know if you're aware of a makeup brand called Smashbox. It was out of LA from the Smashbox photo studios. Lovely, wonderful studio brand. Well, they came to the East Coast in 1997 and opened up first. The only place you could get them was Bendel's here in New York, Henri
Henri
Bendel,
Bendel.
Henri Bendel,
He
and
must have been
Nordstrom.
Jewish. Bendel, probably Jewish. I'm hoping. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
Henry Bendel,
Yeah.
um, and in Nordstrom down in King of Prussia. I was hired as a freelance makeup artist that very first week they opened that counter. And from there was then brought on board corporately by Dean and Davis Factor, the brothers who owned
Max.
Smash.
Oh,
Yeah,
so,
they were the
wait.
great grand.
Factor from Max Factor. They
Yes,
okay, got it.
they were the
Yeah.
great grandsons of Max Factor. So
Yeah.
they had the history and the heritage, but the brands themselves were not connected. They had again the Smashbox Photography Studio in LA was and still is one of the premier professional photography studios there. So this was developed as a studio line to be used in the studio and then went retail. And I basically built their clientele. I built the whole New York clientele from that counter at Bendel's and went on to run New York City for Smashbox for 21 years. Um,
So, who
I,
are some of the famous faces that you have applied goo to?
oh God, Cher, Goldie Hawn. By the way, Goldie is my next door neighbor here in New York. Yes, she has her New York apartment in the building right next door to mine. And so there are two Goldies on the block.
How
A
rare is
little bit
that?
famous.
Two Jewesses, but you know she's Jewish. Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
And Kate Hudson is Jewish too. This is an amazing thing.
That's
Have
right.
you seen her with Kurt? Have you done
We see
schmoozed?
them in the neighborhood every now and then. We see Kate more frequently. Again, this is their New York digs, so they're not here all the time.
Right,
But
right,
the
right.
funny thing is, when that building opened up, she owned the both of the two penthouses, and she was leasing one of them to um, oh, this is my brain. Played Michael Corleone in The Godfather,
Shlomo Karlbach. No, wait,
of
no.
course.
Oh, you
Um,
mean Al Pacino?
Al Pacino. And we used to see him in the neighborhood all the time. And it was when he was in that custody battle with Beverly D'Angelo for the kids.
Right.
One summer afternoon, I'll never forget, my husband and I walked around the corner and we see him schlepping up the block, pushing this double stroller, and he was schwitzing like you wouldn't believe. And I remember thinking, well, you wanted the kids out. This is what it is to be a dad. But he no longer has that. I think she gave up one of the penthouses, but she still has the other penthouse. Um, and a friend of mine, I worked on her in Bendel's fairly often, but a friend of mine was her actual private makeup artist who used to work on her when she had special events and things like that. Um, I no longer do that in the stores at all. I'm retired from that part of my life, but I still have private clients whom I do private makeup
I'm
for.
sorry, I understand they want to look unbelievably glamorous. They know that they're walking down a red carpet, the light has to. But does a woman really need more than a couple of eyelashes, a little bit of whatever, a thin coating of lipstick, and you're done? What?
Oh, oh,
Really?
honey, I can tell you're a straight man. Oh,
Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
I am.
Yes. I mean, for every day, that's fine. And that's what I call my look like a person, brows, lashes, lips, just to find the high points of the
And
face.
tuchus. Tuchus.
Well, but
Yeah.
how many people actually see the tuchus?
My
Um,
family. Yeah. Okay. Mhm.
and the people who do prefer it unadorned usually.
Sure.
Yes.
Good point. Yes.
Um, but when you're going out, and especially the thing about red carpet, you're dealing with different kinds of lighting, outdoor lighting, and then indoor lighting, and you're dealing with cameras. So TV cameras, still photography in the studio, they all require different types of makeup depending upon the lighting you're going to be seen in.
Right, but
Um,
you have an actress. She does the red carpet, but then she's going into the ballroom and is going
right.
to be sitting in the seat. So you've got the outdoor, and then you've got the indoor. What does she change in between? Does she go in the bathroom with her stylist, or what?
No, that's why you need the talents and the skill and the knowledge of a professional makeup artist who works in all of those mediums to understand what will work outdoors in sunlight and what will then translate. And if you notice when they are on the red carpet, they're never in direct sunlight. There's always canopy overhead, which creates a softer, sort of shaded, um,
Makes sense. Yeah,
diffused
I
light.
get. Yeah.
Yes. And in general, a little tip for you in case you or your wife ever decide to explore warm colors in makeups, things like oranges, peaches, browns, warm tones will always be more will work in a wider variety of lighting situations than cooler tones. So things like if your shadow, warmer color lips, shadows that are in those warm tones rather than blues or purples, because cool tones can look harsher in different kinds of lights.
Now let me ask you. You
Yeah.
mentioned Gaga. Cher was in the chair. Do you have a Cher story? Was she nice? Was she? You can't really talk much because they're working on your face. Well, how was she?
She was Cher. She was delightful. Um, you know, I'm trying to think if there was ever an issue with any of the celebrities that came into, because everyone came through Bendel's. And those are just the two that come to mind off the top of my head.
For sure.
Everyone came through Bendel's. Um, and I don't remember having difficult situations with any of the celebrities. It was more the totally unknown women who sort of were, legends in their own mind, who they would sometimes be the difficult ones. But I was lucky because partly because of the way I worked with clients. Part of my thing was to educate them as I was doing it, because I was always about empowerment. And I as I was doing it, the client would be looking in the mirror and I would say, we're doing this because I babbled a lot. Can you imagine me babbling?
Never occurred to me a Jewish woman
Yeah,
would. Yeah, but
yeah.
anywho, so
So once I got somebody in my chair, they were my client for life. Yeah. So
but I wasn't also looking for dirt of people behaving badly. Were any of the celebrities that you remember or worked on, were they especially funny or nice or personable or any amusing things happen or
again, I haven't worked in Bendel's. We pulled out of Bendel's in 2003, 2004.
yeah.
So I haven't worked in that atmosphere in a long time. Our our brand became available in every Sephora in the country around the world, and they became all of my accounts. I was, and training all the people in Sephora. And you would get some people, well, because it's New York City, you would still get some people, but for the most part, those are the people that I started working on privately. And again, I'm sorry that no
Well, like
specific.
legends, like Hollywood, from
Yes.
before 2003, Hollywood royalty legends, anybody, maybe
Yeah. Well,
Margaret Hamilton, perhaps.
oh, Margaret Hamilton. Oh my God. How I toned down her nose was just beautiful. And you look down too.
Anyway, yeah, yeah. Esther
Yes.
Roll, did you ever do Esther Roll or no?
No, I did not.
No, Beatrice Arthur or any of the Golden Girls?
A B Arthur. Um,
If you can't be good, be Arthur. Yeah, no.
yeah, no, B Arthur though, I did not know her. But I met her a couple of times and she was B Arthur, the same B Arthur all the time, in person, on television. She was just that dry, acerbic.
Oh, you
Uh,
had that. You did it. You had that B. Arthur. You just impersonated her beautifully. Now,
well,
yes.
that's I have from time to time done songs that she did because I am in that character woman stage of life now, And I'll be honest with you, I love it much more than when I was the ingenue. The ingenue roles are so boring. The songs can be lovely, but the character roles are really the meaty roles where you can dig your teeth in.
So is there a Mama Rose in your future? Are you already doing those, or
You
because I
know,
see it, I can see you doing a Mame, a Mama Rose. That
Ma Mame is the role that people keep telling me I should do, and also Mame and
oh,
Ethel Merman.
oh,
Again, this
Annie? No, 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 the other one.
no, the other one.
Pearl Nesta and Hostess
Gypsy,
with the
Gypsy.
Joe, no, Mama Rose, Gypsy.
Right, right. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
Gypsy, but I've been told I should do both of those roles. So we'll see, we'll see. But right now my focus has been on cabaret.
Yeah.
Um, because you
Speaking
have
of
so much,
which, yeah.
yes.
So this Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. at Don't Tell Mama, except do tell Mama. There's some reason not. I don't understand the name of this thing.
Don't tell your mother.
You
As
should
we
tell
love
your
it, you
mother. It's
call
a
her.
perfectly. This is not a naked cabaret. This is not people dancing and fisting each other. It's a cabaret. It's on West 46th Street, I believe. Don't tell Mama.
Correct.
Between 8
Restaurant
to 9.
Row. Yes.
Right, and you're doing a cabaret called It Takes Two, cabaret duos and duets. So it's not just you. You are sort of hosting and emceeing all
Yes.
these couples doing songs, and some of these people have been on this program. So who are performing with you on Wednesday night?
Well, let me tell you about the concept of this series that I'm doing. This series is called um, uh, Sneak Peek. And it's a series that we're in our third year of doing it. And we do it every other month. Every month that we do it, every show has a different theme. And so we have done right before the Mac Awards, we had all of the artists, the composers who wrote the songs that were nominated for Macs for original songs. We had them all come on and perform their song live in the show. And that was so popular because they do send out MP3s of these songs so people can listen to them and vote to them. But there's nothing like seeing the person who wrote the song perform it live in a cabaret setting the way it was meant to be heard. So we've been having packed houses for these shows. The theme this time is duos and duets. These are all artists, cabaret artists, well known, who all work as solo performers, but very often we'll get together as an actual duet to perform. So there is, I don't know if you're familiar with Marty Millett and her husband Michael Garin.
Oh,
Again,
Michael has been on this program.
I
We're
know
trying to get Marty, but she's been busy. She's had something stuff in her
she's
life.
delightful.
Soon
She's
she will.
delightful.
Yes,
So
yes.
the two of them obviously work as singles, but they always work as a duet as well, a duo. So they will be on I know you know Meg Flather.
Right.
Um
And get her on too. Yep.
just saw Meg's show on Wednesday, which was brilliant. And Tracy is her music director, Tracy Stark. And so again, solo performers, but they work together so much. We're inviting them on as a duo.
And what are some of the songs? What are the what are things that they're performing?
Well, that's the secret. You have to
Oh,
come to
ooh,
the
ooh.
show to see.
I'm sorry
Um,
for asking. Shame,
but
shame, Rabbi, shame. Yeah,
I
yeah.
will spill the tea a little bit. When I saw Meg's show, she and Tracy did this duet from um uh starting here, starting now, called One Step. I want to take one step, one at a one step. And they did it brilliantly. So I made a special request that they do that for the duo show, which they will. The duos will be performing two songs each. The people like myself, I just did this Dorothy Field show, which I'll tell you a little more about later.
Yeah.
But in it, I do a few duets with my brilliant music director, Dan Pardo. Dan is the series music director for the Sneak Peek series. And he and I will be doing one of the duets from our show.
Oh, but
Dan,
wait, I do have to add. Just hearing
yeah.
that name, is Dan Pardo Don Pardo's son?
No, but
Yeah.
it's so funny.
Eh,
Everyone always makes that mistake. It's like, come on down. Yeah, so no, it's
yeah.
totally different entity.
Uh,
But he and his wife Chrissy just won the Mac Award this year for Best Duo.
Oh my.
So yes, and this his wife can sing anything and a voice like the angels. And
Mm.
Dan is quite a singer and performer in his own right. Both sort of come from the world of theater. Um, but Dan is so busy now, he works with everyone. And I am very blessed to be able to have him. This is the Dorothy Show is the second show we've done together. And he's just creative and intelligent and one of those brains that you say something and he's so quick to put things. So my longtime director and friend and collaborator James Beeman, who is my director, when we're in the room together in the collaboration phase of these shows, it's as much fun as actually getting up to do it on stage. So Dan and Chrissy will be on, and there's two singers who are wonderful, just becoming more known within the cabaret community, because I always like to have people that they're all excellent performers, but different levels of exposure
I
and
get it.
and
Yes.
and recognition within the community. And Alex D'Souza and Richard Binder, who work together very often as a duo. They call themselves Binder Sues. And so they'll be on. Camille Diamond, who again, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant singer, works with Tracy as her music director. Camille and Tracy will be there as a duet. So Camille will do one of the duets from her last show with Tracy. And then as our special guests, we have Katie Sullivan and Mark Nadler.
Both of whom are friends of the Daverhood. They have been on this program. We love
And
them. Yeah.
just delightful. Again, brilliant performers in their own right. But when I first became aware of Katie and Mark, that it was years ago through Joey Reynolds. Um, and I first met both of them when they were working as a team. I didn't know until a little while later that and see them both as individual performers. But they are magical together as a team. Which is I always found so interesting because they are such different types of performers, but yet when they mesh together, it creates really something
Now,
just
speaking of the
wonderful
mesh
fun.
thing, how did you get on the radar of Joey Reynolds, and how long ago was that? Because I think Dave met you actually when he was on late night one time with Joey Reynolds, and you were there, but just part. But that was post quote unquote Jewish hour and all that.
Okay.
How did that start on WOR?
Okay. Well, my husband, Paul Dver, was a very unique man, talented, brilliant, a composer, a writer, very well versed in comedy, and worked with everyone. Worked with Jackie Mason, worked with um, uh,
Pat Cooper?
Pat Cooper. It's over. It's over. Yes, Pat Cooper, and worked for 30 years with Soupy Sales. And in his various things with Soupy, when Soupy brought his Soupy Sales show back in the early 80s, Paul wrote the theme song for that. Then Soupy had a radio show on WNBC
Hmm.
in the afternoons. It was like 83 to 85. And the lineup was Howard Stern in the morning, Soupy Sales in the mid-afternoon, and Joey Reynolds in afternoon drive time.
Wow. Yeah.
So through that, they became very friendly with Joey, and Joey, then, Joey is one of the first DJs that was inducted into the Hall of Fame, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So he's been in the business since the early 60s. Do you remember, did you ever see Jersey Boys?
Of course. Yes.
Okay, well, the
Oh, you're talking about the
DJ,
Broadway musical and
the
the
Broadway
off-Broadway musical.
musical.
I thought you were just talking Boys from Jersey. No, I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
seen it. No,
Okay, well, in the musical, they tell the story of how the Four Seasons first gained their initial notoriety, where the DJ played, I think it was Sherry, in a loop for 24 hours, and he basically locked the studio door to not let anybody in, and they wound up firing him for it. Well, that was Joey Reynolds who actually did that, and so he remained friends with
it's a
Frankie
good song.
until
It's not really worth 24 hours.
no, but
Maybe 3, 4 hours over and over. There's
well,
other songs, Jerusalem of Gold. All right, that one I could do about 7, 8 straight hours of. A couple of
right.
songs by Wildman Fisher, maybe. But no, okay.
So,
Radio was nuts back then.
right. So
Yeah.
Joey worked through many markets, and when he got to WOR, he did overnights from midnight to 5 a.m. And he had the only talk show that never took in phone calls. It was always about what went on in the studio. So by that time, we had all got to know Joey, and what had started to develop on Friday nights, what from 12 to 2 a.m., was something lovingly called the Jewish Hour. Now, as we know, observant Jews couldn't listen, which is probably why we got away with a lot of what we did. But when people used to ask me, like, what is the Jewish hour about? I used to say, just picture your dysfunctional family sitting around the dinner table bitching. And that's pretty much what it was. So
Yes.
there were five of us that became regular dysfunctional family members.
Who
My,
were the others in that hour? There was
well, I'll tell you, you'll know. First of all, my husband Paul and I were like the young married couple who would banter. Then we had, does the name Mickey Freeman ring a bell?
yes, he used to be on with Joey. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I know him otherwise?
Because he gained his fame as one of the original cast members of the original Phil Silvers show. He was, the short guy with the brush cut, Zimmerman, Zimmerman.
Right, you'll
He
never
was
get rich.
Zimmerman.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then he went on to become a very well-known Borscht Belt comedian. So whatever was going on in the studio, Mickey always had a story to go with it. I got a story for that, and he was just delightful. And he never told his age. We used to ride down with him every week to go to the studio. And he said, so Mickey, give it up already. He would say, no, 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 no. It's like, how can you be worried at ageism? It's like you're older than dust. Just like, why do you care? And then
I
we
do
had our
remember when I would listen to the Joey many years later, and he was still there, and you kind of wait for him to get a story out, and you know that
yes.
he was there just because he'd been there 20 years earlier, and he's still all right. Let's listen to Mickey for a while.
Right, right.
He'll stop talking eventually, yeah,
Yes.
or he'll
And
start talking, yeah.
then we had a woman, Myra Channon,
Oh, and
who
yes, Myra, we know. Well, I know
Mother
Myra. She's
Wonderful was her moniker.
yeah.
Another Philly person. I'm originally from Philly, a Philly woman. Who, when you talked to her, she sounded like your typical Jewish grandmother from Philadelphia, But let me tell you something. This woman was sharp as a
Yeah,
tack
yeah.
and wonderful sense of humor. And she wrote cookbooks, a very accomplished cook and baker. And then Sydney Meyer, who
Yes,
ran
of
and does
course.
still run Don't Tell Mama. I actually brought Sydney on to become the fifth dysfunctional family member.
We have
Because
to have the gay uncle. So there you go.
well, but Sydney, he used to when when Joey was on, he used to be in his office at Mama's late at night doing the books or whatever he had to do business wise, and he would listen to Joey. And Sydney and I'd hang out with him in his office, and he'd say, "Goldie, so tell me, when Paul, because my husband Paul's one of his roles on the show was to be the thorn in Joey's side." And Paul could do that with anyone without even breathing hard. So he would sort of get under Joey's skin and they would go at it in the studio about whatever. And I would, he would say, are they really arguing or are they doing it for the show? And I would say it's a little bit of both. They are really genuinely having this, you can call it an argument, a discussion, but they know they're on a radio show. And so we would have these, and I would keep inviting Sydney, you should come on with me one night. You'll love it. Joey will love you. Finally, Sydney came on one night. Now, Sydney is the type of man, he doesn't say much, but when he does, it's gold. And that night, maybe three or four times, he made a comment about something. And of course, it was hysterical. And Joey, of course, loved him and invited him back. And within a month or so, Sydney was coming on every Friday night with us. And these Friday nights, are you familiar with Sarge's Deli? They're still here in New York City on Third
I don't think
Avenue.
they're
And Fifth.
kosher, so I
They're
wouldn't.
not kosher, but they are.
Oi,
Let me tell
oi.
you something. They are because I'm not kosher, but I love a good Jewish deli. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay.
you wouldn't really get this, I could tell you. Get pastrami on it, but okay, fine, yeah.
They have the best Jewish deli food in New York for my money. And they would cater the Jewish hour every week. They'd send up this gigantic platter of every fish, the lox, the sable, the smoked salmon, da 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 da. They would send up another whole platter of all the meats, the pastrami, the corned beef, the salami, and all the accoutrements, all the bagels, the rye bread, seeded and unseeded, all the, chopped liver, and all the
I'm gonna need my
everything.
talus to catch my
And
drool.
and
Oh,
even rugula. And so people used to come up and they would, everybody would feast. And Mickey was so funny. He would come up. We had to start hiding the trays from Mickey because he would come up and he'd bring baggies with him. And he'd fill up the baggies to take baggies. Oh, it's for my doorman. It's for my doorman. I give it to them when I go home.
well,
And he
if there was all that left over, let him have it. What's
God
the,
bless him.
yeah,
Nobody cared. Everybody,
yeah.
and he did because we would take him home very often as well. And he did give at least part of it to the doorman. Mickey and his wife Anne were just lovable, wonderful people. We all became family. So we wound up doing this every Friday night for a good 14 years. And everyone came through that studio. Everyone from in cabaret, everyone from theater, because they wanted to join in on the party that was happening in the studio. But Joey's rule, you could promote your show, but it wasn't about that. It was about the discussion. Let's talk. Let's talk about whatever and have fun. And if you wanted to perform something from your show, you were not allowed to bring a recorded music that you had. You were allowed to bring a recorded track that you would sing to live,
Huh.
but it had to be done live in the studio. And they brought in this great electric keyboard so that people could also play live in the studio. And my husband, who was a brilliant pianist,
Right.
used to. So I
He was
would
actually a
bring
9-inch pianist, which I'm incredibly
you.
envious of.
How did you know that? I
Yeah.
thought that was my little secret.
We were in the men's room together one time, and
Oh, okay. Yes, he was a bit of a show off.
I
Um,
went like, whoa, So yeah. So let me ask, speaking of singing and all of that, and live music and things, it said in your bio that you really started pretty early knowing that you could sing and would sing. Well, when did you get that opportunity? When did you realize that would be your trajectory?
Well, it's interesting. And we tell a little bit of this story in this Dorothy Field show because some of the songs that I connected with as a little kid were Dorothy Field songs. My mother and I used to sing songs. She used to teach, she was teaching a 4-year-old torch ballads, okay? And it was sort of our special time together.
Yeah.
And there's a picture on my website of me literally at 2.5 years old in my Dr. Denton's, standing on what was the landing of our steps, coming downstairs to the living room, like this, singing a song. So it was something I always loved doing and connected with. We used to spend summers down Atlantic City because I was born in South Philly. So Atlantic City was the natural summer. I grew up as a beach kid. My husband was a camp kid. I was a beach kid. And this was when Atlantic City was still the innocent family vacation town before it went into decline and the other stuff. And we were there for the whole summer. And at 6 years old, I was allowed to leave our place at the beach and go up on the boardwalk with myself to the arcades because I was a pinball nut. I was like looking over the pinball like this in order to play, but it was my
She's a
passion.
pinball wizard.
Yes.
Da-da-da-dum. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I was allowed to do that without my mother worrying somebody would abduct me or without her being pulled up on child
Or
abuse
maybe they just
charges.
didn't care. They were like, take her.
Yes, right.
She's 6. She's annoying the hell out of us. We'll look for her
Yeah,
eventually. Once she's
they did
19,
that.
we'll check in.
And there was this right the next pier down from Steel Pier was a pier called Garden Pier. And they used to do free concerts and different thing every night of the week. Wednesday nights was talent show night. And you were allowed, the deal was you went on Wednesday afternoon and you auditioned for Uncle Harry, who was a pro musician in one of the hotel bands. And Aunt Lucy was the MC. And if they felt you were good enough, they would say, okay, come back tonight. You'll be on the show. And I had been going to these concerts and I wanted to get up there and sing. So one afternoon, I took myself over without telling my mother, because it was only a couple avenues
Yeah,
down
yeah.
from where I walked on the boardwalk, walked over there, and I auditioned with the Connie Francis song, I'll follow the boys wherever, with the tear and everything. And and they said, yes, come back. You're on the show tonight. I went back to the beach and told my mother. She didn't believe me. She didn't think I would go by myself and take myself. And I kept saying, Ma, you have to get me, we have to leave the beach early because we have to eat. You have to dress me, and help me get ready. I'm going to do the show. I have to be there at 7. The show starts at 7:30. She just wouldn't believe me. Finally, and I was not a tantrum child. I just started like crying because so just to shut me up, she dressed me and brought me over there. Well, lo and behold, when she realized that I actually was doing it, she found the payphone and called back to the apartment and tell the people, you have to come. She's really doing the show tonight. So I did, and that was my first, and the audience was like over 500 people, and it was packed every week. The kids sat in what was sort of on the boardwalk. It was very much like the band shell in Central Park.
Hmm.
Beautiful covered stage band shell, great acoustics and amplified, but the audience was out in the open on the pier on benches, and it filled up every Wednesday night.
Were you
And
nervous or were you just excited?
both. That first time as a child, I was nervous. In fact, I could feel my kneecaps quivering. But I did it. I just because I loved it. And I did it again once towards the end of the season because the rule was you weren't allowed to do it 2 weeks in a row, except for the dance company in town that was there every week and did their thing but it was great. And did it again the next year, the same type of thing, twice in the summer. Then at 9, I started taking voice lessons back in Philly.
Yeah, okay. So
So the next summer when I came back, my voice had developed and I had been performing in Philly in different talent shows and things in supper clubs, which my parents had to, of course, take me to. I would be there by the little light on the table doing my homework in between sets.
and smoking Chesterfields, which was
Of course. Well,
yeah, yeah.
Parliament was my brand,
Oh,
but
okay. Yeah.
um and so when I went back, Uncle Harry and Aunt Lucy said, well, we want you on every week and we want you to sing 2 songs every week. And I would sing things like My Yiddish Mama. And
Yes.
I mean, I would sing like an up-tempo thing every now and then, but my thing was torch ballads and so that was my first real experience through that whole summer and first taste of sort of seasoning and performing in front of live audiences. And there's not, you have to do it to do it.
So you have
Um,
seen the evolution, moving away from Philly and moving away from Jersey of New York cabaret. I mean, you've seen it through the 80s and 90s. Where is it now? Because everybody thought it was kind of dying in the 2010s, and then, certainly through COVID, almost killed it completely. And yet now there's like a zillion little jazz clubs and little. Where is cabaret now?
What you're saying is correct. Cabaret has gone through different phases. When I first hit cabaret as an audience member in the late 70s, when I first moved to New York permanently, it was thriving. And you had people like Baby Jane Dexter and um, uh,
Julie
um,
Wilson was still around at
Julie
that.
Wilson,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, everyone, just phenomenal. And then it did go through a bit of a decline in the late 80s, 90s, when dance music started becoming popular and the disco and all of that. Because just like theater, what was popular theater, what was popular cabaret was popular music of the day in the 60s and 70s, and then it all separated. And but um in and through COVID, everything stopped. I think that COVID in the long run turned out to be a very good thing for the cabaret community because it made us appreciate and realize what we had lost. And people were hungry to get back into a room together, hungry to share their art with people and that connection. And so when things started to open up again, like in the late 2020, people, some of the clubs opened up at varying degrees, and people started to come back into the clubs. By 2021, 2022, things were really starting to pop again. And now I would say that cabaret is like fully thriving, which is a beautiful thing to see. All the clubs, everybody is doing shows all the time. It's difficult to get a date in certain clubs,
Oh,
especially if
I had
you
trouble
are.
getting dates all through my 20s, but then I met my darling and adorable, wonderful
Yeah,
wife, and yeah,
well,
Miriam
she
Libby.
sounded wonderful. I didn't get to see her in the
Oh
show,
no,
but
no,
she
that's
sounded
Dave's
lovely.
wife. You haven't met Miriam
Oh,
Libby.
I'm sorry, I haven't met your
Yeah,
wife, and that's cute.
she's a
Sorry for thinking.
termagant, but I love her. Yeah,
You are a hoot and a half, sir.
thank
I
you.
love you.
Oh, speaking of
Yes,
Hooters, you went through the cancer thing, didn't you? You had
yes,
the Hooter
yes.
cancer. How did you come through that?
Well, thankfully, I'm here 20 years later to bitch about it. So
Yes.
any of the changes that have happened, body wise, life wise, they're trade-offs I can handle because I'm here. And I was running full steam. My mother died from breast cancer back in 1988. And so I had been getting mammograms regularly since that time, even though because of her history. And come around 2003, I was working full time with Smashbox. I was doing shows all the time in cabaret. So usually 2 to 3 nights after working at Bendel's or wherever, I would be rehearsing. Plus, I was singing with a wedding band that every weekend I was doing anywhere from 2 to 5 weddings through the weekend. And it was this, rinse, repeat, and wash. And so my
Yeah.
life was like insane. And I started feeling some sort of like a weird symptom. And it went away in a couple of weeks. And I was always told breast cancer doesn't hurt and breast cancer doesn't come and go symptoms. And so it went away. I thought, maybe I have like
Cyst maybe
lymph
or something.
node or an
Yeah, yeah.
inflamed lymph node. And then it came back. And I thought, I should go have this checked out. I thought, I'm a little overdue for my mammogram. I thought it was like a year and a half since my last mammogram. I went back, had the mammogram. It had been 3 years since my last mammogram. So of course I was kicking myself. And it showed something. They took me immediately for like MRI biopsies. There was a positive mass, and that little thing I was feeling under my arm was also positive. So we knew going in. And I had all of my care at Memorial Sloan Kettering, who they are, I mean, there are wonderful cancer centers around today that the care has advanced tremendously, but I still put my money on Sloan Kettering because they are in the forefront of research and education, and that's all they deal with. So my breast surgeon, that's all she did was breast surgeries and set me up with the whole team. And I had to go through that. And basically between the mastectomy, heavy duty chemo, lost all the hair everywhere. And the one thing,
Well, the curtains match the drapes. There's nothing on
oh,
them. Yeah,
no curtains or drapes
yeah.
anymore.
Oh
And
God.
and it was like the body of a 7-year-old. And at one point it was like I thought, Paul is liking this a little too much. But again, my husband's sense of humor, when I came out of the mastectomy, this breast was normal with the nipple and everything. This
Oh,
breast had no nipple, and it had one horizontal scar.
sure.
And like one of the first times my husband saw me undressed, he looked at me, he went, Goldie, your breasts are winking at me. And he loved me no matter what.
Of
We
course.
had unconditional love between us. Again, so blessed. Everyone goes through crises and trials in their life, Rabbi.
Yes, I know. But I mean, by the way,
But
20 years, God willing, cancer free. Is that the?
yes, yes. But so it was mastectomy, chemo, heavy duty radiation.
Sure.
I basically left the earth for 9 months, When I came back, I had to go back to Smashbox first part, who, by the way, held my job for me all those months. Take as long as you need, Goldie. Your job is waiting for you when you're ready. They were good for the word, and they took such good care of me. I came back, and that was our health insurance. By the way, as I was recovering, my husband was diagnosed with early stage emphysema, and they found a dot on his kidney, diagnosed with kidney cancer. He had to have kidney sparing surgery. Again, Sloan Kettering on the forefront of kidney sparing surgery at the time,
Yeah.
January 2008. And but that was the first time he had ever had any surgery, had ever had to face his own mortality. He was the original Peter Pan. Somewhere in his brain, I think he thought he would never die. So it put him into a bit of a tailspin, which over the next 10 years, and he never stopped smoking. So the
Wow.
emphysema became, the last 3 years of his life were very difficult. But so during that time, I had to go back to Smashbox, and it took me a long time to gain back stamina and energy. I didn't have the energy or anything to be able to sing again. So I stopped singing totally for almost 12 years and like
So
pulled away.
what made you suddenly realize, I can and I want to and I will?
Paul passed away August 22nd, 2018. Sudden heart attack in front of me. Had to give him CPR three times while I was waiting for the EMS to show up, and he just never regained consciousness that night. So it, that my friend Jamie was the one who encouraged me to come back to singing and to
James Beeman? Is that
James
the, yeah,
Beeman,
yeah,
yes. And because Jamie and Paul knew each other and loved and respected each other through me, but they had their own loving relationship. And all I knew about the show, and I thought, yes, I need to do that. I knew that I wanted to do this show back at Don't Tell Mama, because even though I had worked so many of the rooms around town, Mama's was always my home. And Jamie and I had won a MAC award for the Leslie Brickis review that we did at Mama's called Crazy World back in 2002. And I wanted it to be at Mama's, and I wanted to call it Back in Mama's Arms. And beyond that, I knew generally what that I wanted to tell the story about, sort of what had been going on. Um, and Jamie, as we always do when we craft a show, we talk about what I feel I need to say. We talk about song selections that I'm feeling. We pull up a whole list of many more songs than we will ever use. And then as we start to build the arc of the show dramatically, we find and we realize which songs tell that story so well. And in the show is not about Paul, but he played heavily into the story. And we told this wonderful true story about when I first met Paul and hated him. It was like such a classic rom-com story. Um,
Why did you hate him? What was so?
okay. Okay. My
You
friend
gotta
Mark
tell.
Tilley.
Gotta tell it. Yeah.
Okay. So there were four of us that moved up from Philly to New York to go to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And even though I had a gay uncle in New York they weren't allowed to legally be married at that time, but it was always Uncle, Uncle AB and Uncle Paul. Uncle AB was the blood relative. And it was so typical. They had a upscale hair salon in the salon. They were Andre and Pierre. I mean, and they had this upscale Jewish clientele of these women. But he was my favorite
La
New York
Caja
uncle.
Farfel is essentially
Yes.
where. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So even though I was aware of this, I still wasn't like we were accepting of, we didn't know we knew what homosexuality was, but not really. When I moved to New York, it seemed like every talented man I met was gay. So my friend Mark kept trying to introduce me to Paul, not romantically, musically, because Paul wrote all these original songs. He was in the original BMI workshop with
Oh,
Lehman Engel when Lehman Engel ran the workshop.
wow. Okay.
And so he felt Paul would like me singing his songs. I would love his songs. So finally, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'll meet another gay friend, whatever. One day I had nothing to do. It's like, all right, let's go meet your friend Paul. We go up to Paul's apartment. Paul opens the door. I took one look at him. I knew this was not a gay man. No self-respecting gay man would ever walk around looking like that. He was like Oscar Madison from The Odd Couple, but worse. Bushy hair, uncontrolled, like mismatched clothing, like the man didn't own a mirror and couldn't care less. And he was working with Soupy at the time, and he had just come off of a road trip with Soupy, was spending like 2 days, 3 days in his apartment, and then going out on another 2-week road trip. Now, Paul was a very hyper New York character to begin with, but he was also so sexist, so that he thought I was Mark's girlfriend. So I was, let me put this in a nice way, undateable material. So he totally ignored me,
Oh,
like I wasn't even there. Here was this brash New Yorker there, like and just ignoring me. And then the capper, he brought out, he said, Mark, I have to show you something. He brought out this jewelry box and opened up this thing. And at the time, what was very big were these bangle bracelets for women, hard bangle bracelets that when you pulled it this way, there was a watch underneath.
oh,
Now, I wasn't a big fan of them anyway, but this one, he opened up and he went, I gotta show you, this is the most expensive gift I've ever bought for a woman. A woman. He was 21 years old, a woman. And he opens it up, and I'm thinking to myself, that's the most expensive gift you've ever bought for a woman. Boy, do you need some education. And and I never heard a note of music. So when we left the apartment that day, I told Mark, I don't ever need to see your friend Paul again. But when Paul came back, he was going to be doing a 2-week stint at one of the cabaret rooms where he was going to be playing piano, and each night he was going to have a different friend at various levels of celebrity at that point. He had Christine Ebersol before she hit it big. He had Larry Luckenbill. He had ton. I'm just again blanking out on the names. Those are the first two. But Mark was supposed to be his opening night singer, and he wanted me to come see him do this show. So, all right. Well, Mark had laryngitis that night, couldn't sing a note, and Paul had a room full of people. So he performed, he played and performed his own original songs. And he was not a singer per se, but he was an actor and Paul lived his best life on stage. He was so comfortable and wonderful. And so he's doing this, and all of a sudden I see this sensitivity and vulnerability and talent. And I was always a sucker for talent. And by then he knew I was only Mark's friend. So now he was interested in me. So he comes over to my table at the end of the show. He says, would you mind hanging out? I just have to, we had to do the schmooze around the room. And I said, sure. So he did, and he came over to the table. Well, we just bantered they wound up kicking us out at 3 a.m. that night. And we connected. And um, when we got outside, he pulled a Woody Allen on me. It was the time of Annie Hall.
come on, you look for a 10-year-old? No, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, you know when Woody Allen says to Annie Hall, something like before their first date,
Oh,
do
the
you mind if I
kiss
kiss
thing,
you
kiss before
now?
the, yeah,
Right,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
right. So Paul pulled that on me, and he looked at me, and I just looked at him and I went, "Oh, you saw that movie too?" You know, so
Every Jewish man wanted to be Woody Allen in the 19th. See, it sounds ridiculous now, but we all did. We thought,
yes.
oh, he's got it.
So
That's how you get girls.
so that was May 10th, 1977, and we always looked at that as our first date. And then we actually got married May 6th, 1984. So between the 7 years that we were together before the marriage and then the marriage, we were together for 41 years. And again, went through things in my life, but I know how blessed I was to have had that man and that relationship in my life. Through the ups and downs, I would never trade any of it for what we had together. We always had unconditional love, unconditional trust, because both of us traveled a lot, especially through like the first 15 years of our relationship. And people used to say to me, how do you sure that you can trust me? I said, I know. And he knew, because both of us had many opportunities, but we also
Well,
knew.
the way you described him when you first met him, I don't know how many opportunities he had. You probably did,
Oh,
but yeah.
I worked on him. I cleaned him up quite a bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he had a great face. He was really quite a handsome man. He just it was you had to find it under all that stuff. Um, so and his charm, he was such a charmer. I remember his mother saying to me early on, be careful because he can charm the birds out of the trees. And he could. And that's why he did so well as a producer, both for Joey and Mark Simone, who now,
Yeah,
right. Well, he worked with Mark Simone for 30 years through all the markets that Mark Simone was on, WMCA, WNEW, the Make Believe Ballroom, and Paul would work as a producer behind the scenes and booking talent for on-air interviews with.
yeah, yeah.
And through this, Paul had a way, he was able to get to anyone, either through their press agent or whatever. And once he got you on the phone, he was persistent but charming. He could get you to say yes to just about anything. And what often happened after the first connection with these people, they would say, "Oh, call back," and they would say, "Don't go through the press agent. Call me direct. Here's my number." So he developed phone friendships. Two in particular, Ella Fitzgerald and he would be on the phone for hours. And I would hear him. Sometimes he'd put it on speakerphone. And I would hear his conversations with Ella because Paul he had that encyclopedic brain about anything showbiz. And he would not talk to them as a fan. He would talk to them as a professional in the industry, but someone who obviously loved their work. And I remember one time he said to Ella, he was talking about a certain cut on an album. And I remember her saying, "Honey child, are you sure I did? I don't remember. I've got to go back and look at that."
And then you suddenly heard clump, clump, clump of her going through a cabinet because she had one
Oh
leg
my
in it.
God.
Yeah,
So the last two tours that she did in her life were 2 years apart. One was for her 74th birthday, and then the last one was just like her last tour.
yeah.
And the first one was done, I believe, at Carnegie Hall. And she invited Paul and me to come to the show. She gave us her house seats and backstage passes. She wanted to meet Paul. So we went, fabulous concert, of course. And Ella, I love and respect and admire so many wonderful singers. I grew up as a Judy Garland fan, and
Well, you might be a gay man then. It didn't
I
occur to me,
somewhere
but
deep
yeah,
inside, absolutely. So and I love Streisand, but she came to me later. But Ella, whom really came to me more in my 30s when I started to appreciate jazz, Ella for me was the only singer that I sort of put up on a pedestal because it was that beautiful, crystal clear instrument, her musicianship, her taste level. When she scattered, it wasn't how many ways can I bend this note? It was musicianship just brilliantly and everything. So she's one of the few singers that I can listen to like over and over again and through a whole album and through everything. I tend to get bored listening to the same singer even through a whole album. She
no,
wasn't.
yeah, absolute 45 minutes with the
Oh
same
my God.
voice, the same
Right.
arrangements it gets. Yeah.
Not Ella. So here we are, and we go backstage. We're in the green room with everyone, and there was Peter Allen and Tony Bennett and everybody there. And we're there with her. And she came over and spent 5 minutes or so chatting with us as she made her way through. Great. I'm on cloud nine. 2 years later, she's back now for this last tour that she did in her life. Um, and it's at Radio City. Same thing, inviting us, house seats, stage passes. This time when we go backstage to meet her, one of her people came over to Paul and asked if we would mind hanging out because Ella wanted to speak with us, with Paul, but with us. And of course, what are you going to say? No. So we waited and they wound up clearing her dressing room so that we could go in there. And we were with her for 20 minutes or so, maybe more. And she was still at her dressing table. And I was literally kneeling on the rug next to her. She was like Grandma Ella. I was practically sitting in her lap. And she was asking me about my work. And she was just amazing. And I'm not an autograph seeker, but with her, I asked her to sign my program. She wrote a
Yes.
lovely thing on it. And I came home that night and I had this 8 by 10 frame, took the picture out of the frame. And in the frame, I opened up the program to where she signed it, put the backstage passes and our tickets. And that is still sitting framed on the wall in my living room. And,
Meanwhile, your niece's picture is now in the garbage somewhere.
you know,
Who
and
needs that? Yeah. Now
it's
that you mentioned there are two people, I think I know who the other person was that
okay.
Paul got really, really close to, or maybe this is the one that you did. I'll take the guess. It's like Anthony Newley.
Yes. And
Yeah.
again, that was through Paul. Now, Paul was a huge fan of Newley, both as a performer and as a writer. You're familiar with the two major shows that he and Brickus wrote in the
Stop
60s.
the world. I want to go somewhere else.
Stop the
I don't like the
Right,
world. I hate the world. The world sucks.
right.
And then the roar of the grease paint, the smell of my farts. I think those were the
Ding,
two.
ding,
Yeah.
ding. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Um, and then Newley went on to really be like the performer, doing Vegas, and he wasn't in the Rat Pack, but during that whole Rat Pack era. And he married Joan Collins. They were like a Hollywood it couple for 10 years, had two kids, and really was a player a lot of his life, but open about it. And Joan Collins, they knew
They knew. Yeah.
and yeah. So this was late 80s, 89, 90. Paul again started the friendship with him through via a phone interview to have him on as a guest. And they hit it off so deeply because they connected as writers. And again, Paul adored Newley, but spoke to him as another professional. So and Newley, by that time in his life, he had lived a life, both personally and professionally, and he had really come to be this whole human being.
Hmm.
He was interested in not his own self-promotion, but the world and humanity. And so we started this friendship, and I would sometimes join in on the phone calls. So I started becoming friendly with Newley, but the friendship started and the bond was created from Paul.
Now, I do want to ask about Anthony Newley. One of the stories about him was that Rex Harrison abused him terribly when he was doing Doctor Dolittle. Did he tell any stories about Rex and that era?
It's true.
And
That
Rex
was
being kind of anti-Semitic about it too, not to mention, but yeah.
Well, we touched on that because, of course, Newley was Jewish, and we touched on that. But he did tell some stories about Dr. Dolittle, and yes, so a lot of what you heard about that was true. Harrison apparently was not a very nice person.
Uh,
Um, yeah, but he was an amazing performer. So whatever, you know, I usually can separate the performer from the person. If I like their work, I don't have to have lunch with them. I don't have to socialize with them, but I can appreciate and love what they do as an artist. Unless if they become really overt.
Richard Wagner, I can't really get through Lohengrin.
Right,
And it's
exactly.
nothing to do with the Jewishness. I just can't get through fucking Lohengrin. But anywho, yes.
So, newly we developed a true friendship, personal notes back and forth. In fact, Newly and Paul started writing a musical adaptation of Frankenstein.
Hmm.
Yes, which they never got to finish because Newly died. Now, I had mentioned that my mother died of breast cancer in 88.
Yeah.
My father was diagnosed with kidney cancer. They were both diagnosed within 6 weeks of each other in 86. My mother died in 88. My father died in 92 of his kidney cancer.
Yeah.
20 years later, I'm diagnosed with breast cancer. My husband's diagnosed with kidney cancer, but both of us survive our cancers. Cancer is not what killed Paul. So, 20 years of advanced medicine, 20 years of everything. And the
Look,
blessing
Hashem.
of,
And
of
yeah, yeah. It
so
wasn't your times, right?
and I am a very spiritual person. I believe in the higher force, which I choose to call God because that's how I was raised. And I am a very proud Jew and love my religion and love the customs of my religion. Um, and so here we are, getting to know Newly very well. And Newley had been a kidney cancer survivor. He had had kidney cancer 11 years earlier and was totally like in remission, cured, whatever. And I mean, things with Newley. So I was not a Newley fan growing up because my family were not theater people. My exposure to nightclub to show business was nightclubs. And my exposure to musicals was always the movie musical version.
Right.
I didn't really see live theater until I was involved in live theater in high school, but I moved to New York and that's when I really first learned about theater. So I never saw Newley live. I only saw him in these variety shows on TV.
Or bad movies like Dr. Dolittle, which was a musical,
Oh,
but
I love Dr. Dolittle. I
oh,
did. I love that movie musical. And but he had this very heavy accent and the vibrato and the style. I just never took to him on TV. Well, as we got to know him, he invited us. He was doing Rainbow and Stars, and he invited us to come see him. And seeing him live, the magic that he created on stage just mesmerized me. And I was immediately hooked. And I was just entranced. And from that moment on, I was a huge fan of his work and started to. So we would go see him, and when he was doing Atlantic City, um, he invited us down to see him. He was there for the weekend, and he wouldn't let us get a hotel room. He had to stay in the other bedroom of
oh.
his suite, which was cool because after the show at night, we'd sit around and we all get comfy in our, comfies in our robes, and we'd sit around and just shoot the shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And during one of these, and we would get into these heavy discussions about, like I said, about the world and humanity and this and that. And after one of these discussions, I turned to him and I said, Tony, I have to tell you how wonderful it is having, getting to know you this way and getting to see you with your soul and your true heart. And he looked at me and he said, Goldie, you're lucky. Goldie, darling, you're lucky you got to know me now because when I was younger, I was a real shit. And he was. He
And
was
he knew it, and he accepted it, and he
totally honest.
changed. Yes.
Changed. And I'm glad that we got to know him it was 9, 10 years, the last decade
And
of his.
did that lead to your like Leslie Brickus show? Because
Yeah.
yeah, I figured.
But he died in 99. And Jamie, who had been directing me, um, through things, when I came back to Cabaret again in 2019, did that first show. And then we did a second show called Bridges, which had to do with me as a young person having experienced in the 60s all the political things, war and political unrest and race problems and da, 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 but more as an observer because I was like just becoming of age at 13 or so. And 50 years later, having lived a life, going through all the same things in our society again, but taking steps back. This was right after Roe v. Wade was reversed. And so it was all about the similarities and the juxtaposition and the differences, bridges from that time to this time. We did that show very successfully.
But
And
I never understood the whole Roe v. Wade controversy. If you're still in the boat, row. If they've thrown you out of the boat, you wade. Simple. Why? I never understood. Why there's a big controversy? I don't understand.
Only you could come up with that. I love it.
Thank you.
So then I was looking for my next show, and I was thinking about Newley a lot. He had been gone at this point. I came back in 2019. He'd been gone 20 years, 21, 22 years at this point.
Yeah.
And I wanted to focus on him and telling the story of this friendship that we had. And of course, using the Newley Brickus catalog to do it with. And so again, Jamie and I collaborated. We knew what we wanted the thread and the show and the import of the show to be, and did the same process and developed this show called
So, Brick by Brickus? No, what was it called? It was
that was the Crazy World Show. See what my brain does to me. I,
It's post-COVID brain fog. Well, it's
Yes,
something
yes.
about that. I can look it
Oh,
up. Everybody
oh,
can go to her
you're seeing the
website.
work of of
Yeah.
Anthony. And so we did this show, very successful run in New York, wonderful reviews, nominated for a Mac Award for Best Tribute Show. And we took the show over to London to Crazy Coq's and had a wonderful, wonderful audience there. There is actually an Anthony Newley Society in London. And we hooked into them through two people who wound up seeing stuff that I did on Facebook, connected with me, and they were like newly nuts. I call them the Newly Boys. And Brad and his husband. And so they really helped us connect with people there. We had a full house, did a wonderful show, getting great reviews, and my first time in London. So it was a wonderful experience.
Oh, yay.
And
Oh. Now,
this,
we want to get back to what you're doing currently because we have to remind people that this Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock, July 15th, it takes two
right.
cabaret duos with all these wonderful people that you mentioned, and you singing, and also with James Beeman, and you're kind of hosting the whole thing. It's a,
And may I,
yeah,
go ahead. I don't want to interrupt, but may I say one of the unique things about Sneak Peek and the reason we call it that,
yeah.
after each person performs or before whatever, I go up and have like an informal, maybe 5 minute chat with them about something about their creative process. We give the audience a peek behind the curtain into what that takes. And it's different for everyone, and it's not the same questions for everyone. And people who come to these shows love those moments in the show as much as the performances themselves, because they don't get to hear this information usually.
Oh,
This is
that's lovely.
that
Yeah,
I
no, it's a lovely balance of it. Because one of the things you say about you can't listen to a full record album, but look at me using the word record album. But yeah, you can't go through 45 minutes. But if you break it up with conversation and then song and conversation, then it really becomes a fuller evening. Plus, as you say, you've got Katie Sullivan, Mark Nadler, very quickly name
Lather,
Rick
Camille
Lather,
Diamond,
Marty Millett.
Marty Millett, um, Alex D'Souza. I feel like I'm
The
leaving.
young people, the two younger folks, the guys.
Oh, Justin Dylan Nastro, who is a wonderful performance. He's newer on the scene, but at this point, very well known within cabaret. And he winner of Mac Awards as well. He and Jamie, because Jamie Beeman this summer did Mushnik in Little Shop of Horrors in at the Fort Myers Theater in Florida. And Justin has done the role of Seymour. So they are doing the Seymour Mushnik duet from Little Shop as well.
Got it.
So they'll be on the show. It's just going to be such a delightful evening.
Don't Tell Mama, which is over on between 8th and 9th on West 46th Street on Restaurant Row.
Correct?
And but we also want to let people know that you have a CD that people can get. It's called Sweet Beginnings. Is
Yeah.
that on all the usual
Not at this point. There's some issues I
oh,
won't go into, but it's available on my website, and people can even go on my website and stream it if they wish, and just listen to the whole album. And that is something that actually was the studio version of the Back in Mama's Arms show.
nice.
I
Nice.
wanted to because I had never done a CD, and we did it, and we were able to do things in arrangements with horns and this and that I kept hearing in my head, but you can't do in a cabaret room. You can't afford it. There's not enough room on the stage, and it doesn't warrant it. So
I mean, I
it's
would have bagpipes for my sermons and it just yeah, didn't
yes, but
yeah.
bagpipes, it works good for the Yiddish songs and because of the minor keys and all of that. But yes, so that at 68, I put out my first CD. And it's like, why not?
Why
My
not?
motto
Yeah.
in life has become, if not now, when? And I'm blessed again that I wake up every day and I have a passion and something that I'm good at and something that people are loving and accepting and welcoming me. And it keeps growing and growing as I build my goals, as I'm now back in cabaret
So
we've
that is going to be the last question for Goldie Dver. And by the way, it's Goldie with an IE like Horn, like your neighbor, and Dver, Dver. There should be a missing vowel in there. I don't know what the hell.
Oh, people are always wanting to give me extra vowels and apostrophes.
You can
It,
buy a vowel. You can do that from Chuck Woolery, but it's D-V. Did anybody even remember Chuck? Dver.
right,
GoldieDver.com is the website. But
right,
that brings us to what you're alluding to. Like, okay, so you've got this show on Wednesday.
right.
What's in the hopper,
Okay.
cabaret wise or music
So,
wise?
so it's a busy year. Um, in September, we come back to the Laurie Beachman Theater, which is 42nd and Ninth. Beautiful room downstairs from the West Bank Cafe. Um, and we're bringing back our second performance of our Dorothy Fields show. Now, Dorothy Fields, I did not know personally at all. But again, I had these connections with her songs long before I even knew who songwriters were. It was the songs and the role they played in my life that as we started to do a deep dive into Dorothy too, I found that I connected with her, who she was as a woman. Dorothy Fields had a 50-year career that started in the 20s when she wrote with Jimmy McHugh songs like On the Sunny Side of the Street. God, I again blanking out, but she wrote with 16 different composers, including Harold Arlen and um, Jerome Kern. She had the most long-term special relationship and working relationship with his whole family too, became very close. She wrote with him, um, I'll Take Romance. No, a Fine Romance, a Fine Romance. I Won't Dance. The song that they won Best Original Song Academy Award for in 1936, the Frank Sinatra hit, The Way You Look Tonight.
Yeah.
Someday when I'm up, right? She was the first woman to win that Oscar. She had an amazing career. She wrote Sweet Charity and Seesaw with Cy Coleman.
That's right. Yes.
Those were two of her last projects. So we go through her. It's this song, it's a fine distinction that a lot of people won't even make. I don't look at this as a tribute show. I look at this more as a songbook show. We tell enough about Dorothy and her to give people a good idea of who she was and what she did, but it's more about why I connected with these songs and the role they played in my life. And again, I'm working with Dan Pardo as my music director. Jamie Beeman is my director and collaborator. And John Miller, very well-known bassist here in New York, is my bassist. And Chip Fabrizi is my drummer. Great trio, great arrangements of these songs. And it's really I love doing this show. It's so much fun. We had an overflowing sold out show when our first performance in June that we did it at the Beachman.
So it's
So
coming back to the Laurie Beachman Theater
yes,
in September.
September
So
17th. September
17.
17th at the Laurie Beachman Theater. And it's already up on the calendar if people would like to go make reservations. With Don't Tell Mama, by the way, reservations are strongly suggested for this show. However, their website is being overhauled. So when you click on their website, you'll see a note that just says it gives a phone number and an email to contact Tanya Moberly directly. She'll
Yeah.
take care of the reservations. It's not difficult to do. It's just one extra step, but I just want to give people a heads up. But you don't have to buy a ticket in advance at Mama's. You pay your cover charge when you pay your check at the end of the show, but you do need to make a reservation. So
Because it's nearly, because you've got so many wonderful people, including yourself, appearing this Wednesday night at Don't Tell Mama in the show It Takes Two. And boy, oh boy, what a twosome we have become. You are now
oh
like
my God.
what a great friend of the new friend of the neighborhood that you are. And to me, Goldie Dver, I wish you God knows health and happy things and music and cabaret and all the things that you want, as you said, in the what the hell stage of life. In the like, why
Absolutely.
not do it? You know?
Absolutely. And again, so blessed in this lifetime. Um, I every day you wake up to bitch about something, it's a good day. So
That's what I say, damn it.
and yet tell I'm Jewish. Oh my God. I can't tell you, Rabbi, and please let Dave know as well. This has been delightful, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for inviting me to join you today.
From the bottom of my liver, my kidney, my bowels, all of them, thanking Goldie Dver for being such a wonderful delight and spending this Jewish hour with us.
Absolutely.
Shalom, Goldie. Thank you.
Shalom.
So, oh my goodness, what fun, what delight here in the Daverhood on this July 11th, 2026. Of course you're going to go see this woman and all these great singers at Don't Tell Mama this Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock at the Don't Tell Mama show. And then make your bookings now. Do the email, do the thing. You know, have to get on a walkie-talkie or something to talk to the people over. Well, that's a Don't Tell Mama. And then in September, you got her at the Laurie Beachman, and I'm sure she's doing a bunch of other things. Goldie Dver is here, and we thank her so much. Now, I am Rabbi Sol Solomon. You can find out more about me at my website, which is shalomdammit.com, shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T, shalomdammit.com, which, hey, you can read and hear my sermons, my rabbinical reflections. You can watch my stage show, because I'm a theater guy of sorts. And I did a show called Shalom Dammit, an Evening with Me, back at the Richmond Shepherd Theater a few years ago. It was professionally recorded and beautifully preserved. The link is at shalomdammit.com. Also, the TV show that I did, Shalom Dammit, Rabbi Sol Solomon's Peace, Love, and Acid Reflux Hour, which is only a half hour, which is okay because their Jewish hour was 2 hours. I don't know what time is a mutable construct, isn't it? Anywho, it's all there, shalomdammit.com. Now, I'm not going, I should be going somewhere, but I'm not going anywhere because I have more to do on this episode of the Dave's Gone By program. Tell me the story, tell me the story, tell me the day, because David has enlisted me with taking over this episode's story time. Now, story time is a segment that started on Dave's Gone By many years ago now, when Dave was at a gas station and he found a children's book that he found rather amusing and decided to go on the show and every week read a bit of this children's book until it was finished. This is long, long time ago, and he still does it, and now he enlists me to sometimes do it, especially when there might be a religious angle to the book. Well, can't get more religious than this. This is bringing big emotions to a bigger God. God, I feel sad. A children's book, I'm presuming it is a children's book, by Michelle Neitert, LPCS. No idea what the hell that is. Luxion Pizza, Kugel with a C. No thought. And co-written by Tamara Fortner with illustrations by Nomar Perez. So I knew some Mar Perez, but this is Nomar Perez. And that is the level of humor at this point because I've been talking for the past hour and a half. Let's see if I can even get through this. I'm going to need my extra X-ray specs. Happy, excited, scared, surprised, mad, little young for horny, that can be lowered down. But these are all, of course, emotions. And this is by a Zonder Kids book, copyright 2023 from Zondervan. No idea where that, printed in India. Ooh. Doesn't smell like curry. Go figure. And the acknowledgments here are, for the one who fills my life with joy. They don't actually mention them, so that could be a problem in their marriage. That was from Tamar Fortner. To the previous and current community counseling associates, staff members, thanks for allowing God to use you as his vessels of love. I tried to use my vessel of love last night, but the wife wasn't into it. And hope to kids and their families for decades. That is from Michelle Neitert. To my wife and kids who are God's amazing handiwork, from Nomar Perez, the illustrator. So let's get through. God, I feel sad. Oh boy, that's a depressive child. He's just going to throw himself off the roof. Him and his little kitty cat there, sad. And I know that I'm really sad when I can't get a little pussy. Next page. Sad can happen when you fall and skin your knee, or when someone hurts your feelings. It can creep in when you're feeling lonely and left out. Absolutely true. Or it can crash in when a friend won't play with you, as it depends on the age of this, or you aren't picked to be on the team. And generally this would be a little Jewish kid. They're the basketball players. I get it. A little sad, a bissel sad, can sneak in when you don't feel well or when someone you care about is sick. And sad can get really big if someone close to you dies. And the interesting thing about this image is that she dies, he gets better. Who knew? You might even feel sad simply because you see someone else feeling unhappy and blue. Yeah? And actually, he had an oxygen thing. He literally does turn blue. Sad isn't the most fun emotion to feel, but there's a reason you're sad sometimes. Like, it's God's way. I was wondering when they're going to bring him into it. In God's way of helping you know that you have been hurt in your body or in your heart, and lets you know something isn't quite right with your world. Okay? I think we would know, even if we weren't sad, we know we become sad because something isn't quite right. We're not sad. I don't get it. Okay. Now, sad looks different on each person's face. I don't know. I think the faces are exactly the same. The frowny mouth, the sad, it's the same. It might pull your eyebrows up high and make your eyes droop down. Let me do a sadness face here. I'm working on it. Let me try with bagel. Oh, sad bagel. Doesn't work. Okay. It can turn your smile into a frown. Yes, it can. Look at that. There she goes. There's blood rushing to her head. Happy. And this whole damn book is sad. Again, and it spills out in words like, my heart hurts, which, get to the cardiologist, it's not fair. I want it back. I messed up, or it's all my fault. This is definitely the generation that this is so self-centered here. It's like the narcissism book. Sad can make. Well, no, Al, he's not sad. He's all right. He's a little twisted up there. He's okay.
Me and fall, Rabbi.
Sad can make you feel tired and heavy and as slow as a sloth. So can eating 3 pastrami sandwiches in a row, which I have done. You might want to whimper like a puppy who needs comfort and extra hugs. Or maybe you'd rather spend the day snuggled up with someone you love, right? Yeah, I would not be sad snuggled up with Gal Gadot, for example. Let me see. There we go. You can't be sad when you're wearing these. Ow, it's hurting. I need my glasses.
Yeah, that shouldn't go there.
Put that on there. Oh, now I feel like Moshe Dayan.
I don't think it's an eye.
At least this eye is good. A listening ear could be just the thing you need. Or a listening eye. Or you might simply want to be left alone to think. Right? Now, look at all these. I can't even. This is get this. All right, hold on. All right, let me test your heart. When you are sad, how can you begin to feel better again? First, give your feeling a name. I usually knew Irving or Moish. Now, say, I feel sad, or upset, or disappointed. Pick the word that best fits you. Refrigerator, for example. Next, figure out where your body is feeling the sad. Prostate. Oh, yeah. Is it tight in your throat or heavy on your shoulders? Is it aching in your tummy or tightening up your chest? All of these are medical conditions, by the way. Or is your sad slipping out in tears or perhaps with me in pee? You can never tell with these things. It is okay to feel your feelings. Don't pretend they're not there. Let the sad out so you can start to feel better again. Sigh, a big sigh. Or have a good cry. Think about things that make you smile. Gal Gadot. Draw a picture, sing a song, or write all about your feelings in a story. Get up and move to your favorite music. Hey! Dance until the sadness disappears or until you hurt something. If you're Jewish, probably the throwing at your knee or your hip will happen first. Talk to a grown-up. Talk to a friend. Tell someone who cares about you, or if you're Jewish and older and like a certain age, someone who at least makes believe they care about you. Most of all, whom do you think, this is Dave's wife here, most of all, whom should you talk to?
A licensed psychotherapist.
Yes, or even better than that.
Your upstairs neighbor?
Hashem. Talk to God. He knows how you feel. If he knows how you feel, why does he make you sad in the first place? And he's always there to listen and help you. Sure, yes, he killed your puppy, but he's there to help you. Some sadness goes away quickly. Some sadness sticks around. And some sadness comes and goes like the waves at the edge of the ocean. Tiny waves, they're going with this metaphor now, tiny waves roll in, just big enough to wet your toes, and you feel a little blue. If your toes start turning a little blue, you get out of the water and get a heating pad. But those little waves quickly roll out, and you start to feel better again. Other waves are big and huge. They swirl around and soak you, kind of like my diaper, with sad all the way through. Might take a little longer, but you know what? Those big waves will roll out too. Roll out the sad waves. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. How many of God's messages, how many of God's messages can you find? Ask him to open your eyes and help you see them. Can you find 1 or 2 or 334?
Wow.
That's weirdly specific, isn't it? 1, 2, or 334. Some days you just don't find one, I guess. Because God's love and goodness are everywhere and all around you, even when you are feeling sad. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. As a matter of fact, this is Psalm 34:18. Psalm 34:17 is, "Here I sit, brokenhearted, came to shit, only farted." So that's the end of the book. And then there's a note for parents. It's important for children to experience all their feelings, even the hard ones. And I know when I was 11 years old, I started to experience my first hard feelings. When you recognize that your child is feeling sad, encourage them to name their emotions and talk about them and let them know it's okay to feel that way. Give them opportunities to express and release their feelings, but maybe not with an X-Acto knife. Do this even for the little sadnesses of life. Children will need at least 90 seconds to recognize and process their emotions in order to move past them. That's, again, a very specific number. Not 334 seconds, 90 seconds, okay? Sometimes sadness grows so huge, it can be or seem like the only thing in your child's world. That's when you gotta teach the child to put their sadness away. Imagine gathering up all the sadness in your arms, and then pack it away in an invisible box. And there's some sadness right there. Don't let any sneak out, and close the lid tight. Think of something that makes you smile. Do something fun. Hug someone you love. Play with your friends. Let yourself be happy. And then, when you need to, and your heart will tell you when, take the sadness out of the box and let yourself feel it again. Just for a little while. Write, talk, draw, take a deep breath, and then put the sadness back in the box. Guess what? It won't be as big as it was before. So every time you take the sadness out, it'll be a little smaller. I wish my prostate were like this, a little smaller, until one day you won't need the box anymore. Help your child process their emotions. Encourage them to develop skills they will use their entire lives. And that's, all right, it's very nice. So, Michelle Neitert has been a licensed professional counselor. I guess that's LPC Counseling S. S is for sad, I guess. For over 25 years, she wrote the book Loved and Cherished, 100 Devotions for Girls. And also she wrote, Make Up Your Mind. Very good. Devotions for Girls. Make Up Your Mind. I hope they're two different books. Tamar Fortner is a best-selling writer and ghostwriter who has written, among other things, Easter is Coming and Jesus Calling for Kids, which is, at this point, Jesus should be using TikTok, shouldn't he? And then great.
Aren't you in the wrong testament?
Totally in the wrong testament here. Grace for the Moment for Kids. She lives just outside Nashville, Tennessee, with an incredibly lazy dog who doubles as a foot warmer. Just reading here. And finally, and not a moment too soon, Nomar Perez was born on Puerto Rico in the city of Ponce and moved with his parents to Ohio when he was 10. That must have been a fun move. Hey, kids, where we go? Cleveland. But it's so warm in Puerto Rico. That's okay. The river here is on fire. You still get the heat. Nomar is heavily influenced by all kinds of media, animation, puppetry, computer art. He studied at Bowling Green State University and has worked as an illustrator on social expression products and humor, children's books, and young adult. So there you go. Sonder kids, ladies and gentlemen. God, I feel sad. Well, I feel happy being able to be on this program with all of you, my friends, and my beloved friend David. It's called Dave's Gone By. Remember, find out more about me, Rabbi Sol, at shalomdammit.com. Shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T. Plus, I have a Facebook page, of course, Rabbi Sol Solomon. I got a Twitter thing, at Rabbi Sol Solomon. I don't think I have a blue sky thing, because I'm Jewish. All my skies are gray. But ladies and gentlemen, let us end this Storytime segment and bring back the producer and host of this program, the one, the only Dave. Have a fine, fine week. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, nothing like trying to do Rabbi Sol Solomon for an hour and a half and then still have a throat left. But oh my God, I'm Dave Lefkowitz. You're watching the 1040th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcaster Programmio of the stream with my darling and adorable and ever so helpful wife. All of you watching at home, remember that you guys are the reason I do this. We've got our Facebook page.
It was very interesting.
Well, yeah.
I mean, so many topics and concepts.
Yeah, it was absolutely great. I mean, we could have had Goldie Dver here for another 3 hours, and we probably will.
So many issues raised, and
And so much of a life lived when you spend 60-something, or 70-something years on this earth. Stuff happens. You get through stuff, you live through stuff, you move on, and more stuff happens. And that's basically, God, my lighting is so harsh. Let me just, that's better. It's better. Anywho.
Can't get back to the live thing.
We've got a live thing. I don't know if I can do a Dave's Big Dictionary on that word. Wasn't planning to. Oh, what the hell? It's a challenge. And we're not late for anything. We're not running anywhere. We're not waiting for the hot dog contest. So, and...
I'm trying to get back. I can't. I was watching you, but I can't get your live feed here now for some reason on Facebook.
Do you have a dead feed?
I'll figure it out.
But let me try. I'm not looking forward to this, ladies and gentlemen, but we do have a segment we've been doing called Dave's Big Dictionary. And what Dave's Big Dictionary is basically we'll have a word chosen at random. And it used to be that my wife would literally thumb through the pages of a dictionary and I'd say stop, and whatever page her finger landed on, whatever word her finger was nearest, I would have to talk about for a couple of minutes. Hence Dave's Big Dictionary. Try to be amusing about it or interesting or whatever came into my mind. Well, Merriam-Webster for a while made that a lot easier because Merriam-Webster does a thing where they choose a word of the day as a way to promote themselves. And they say what the word means and they use it in context in a sentence. So I'm like, oh, okay, why not? Now it's in the shop.
How nice the shirt looks, though. You have good color, though.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll just leave that over there. I do look good.
Look at the light.
For me. Oh, well, yeah.
It's
No,
the light.
I can pull that out of
You're
this.
the light,
Yeah. So,
we can bring this light in every time.
yeah. With Merriam-Webster doing the honors, then it became, okay.
Why don't you ask the crystal ball if you should do it?
Well, I think I'm committed now, even though I don't have the theme music. But that's what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, Merriam-Webster's word of the day today is something most of us who aren't biology professors have never frickin' heard of. Well, it said, so should I, hold on, let me make sure it's the exact right word. Yep, that's the word today. Here we go. Xeric. Was xeric or another?
That's the word.
So,
It means
X.
like carrot, right?
It means that it can survive okay on very little water. Xeric means.
You go to the World's Fair and they have these xeric plants. And that's what I think of.
Yeah.
They're like waterless, soilless plants.
So, xeric in context. No, that takes forever. But did you know? Few English words begin with the letter X, but those that do mostly come from Greek. Xeros means try.
Xylophone?
Well, yeah, there are. I mean, X-rays, xenophobia, Xerox. Well, that's a brand.
I bet you xenophobia is Greek.
Xochimilco! This is my favorite kind of milko to drink.
What is that?
Oh, it's a place in Mexico. But around the turn of the century, 20th century, botanists were using the term xerophyte and xerophytic for plants well adapted to survive without much water. But they needed a more generic word that included both animals and plants. So, for a while, they were coming up dry. That's their joke, not mine. In the 1926 issue of Ecology, specialists proposed using the word xeric as a more generalized term for flora or fauna, and then they suggested xerophytic or phytic, among other terms, to be entirely abandoned as useless and misleading. Wow. Xerophytic just thrown out the window on that.
That's a horrible word.
But not everybody liked the idea. As a matter of fact, the Ecological Society of America said xeric was...
Oh, you don't want to mess with them.
They said...
They're scarier than... They're like ninjas.
No, they're like ice. They're saying xeric is, quote, not desirable. They don't want them in the country.
Whoa.
Preferring terms such as arid. Others, hey, whatever happened to arid extra dry?
That's such a positive term. You're
Arid.
Arid and barren, yeah.
Whereas others declared that xeric should refer to only habitats and not to organisms themselves. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I think that's true.
However, by the 1940s,
thank God.
xeric was well documented in scientific literature. So that's all from Merriam-Webster about the word xeric, about which I now have to frickin' talk.
Did you do your crystal ball to see?
Oh, should I talk about xeric on Dave's Big Dictionary? Should I talk about xeric on Dave's Big Dictionary?
My sources say no.
Uh-oh. Thank you. Thank you for sparing me.
She's very negative all the time.
I know, right? Wow. It must be the times. So, good. I don't have to talk about...
You can say that she's xeric.
Yeah, she's an arid chick, isn't she?
Xeric, yeah.
I think the one thing,
Which?
I know that for reasons, physical, medical, you drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you can swig down, even with plain water. That at least has seltzer in it. That's got fizz, unflavored, just, seltzer, carbonated water. She's chugging a third of a bottle.
I'm the Joey Chestnut
Yeah.
seltzer.
And I realize you have to, but even before you didn't have to, you could just pound down.
That's water.
I can't.
Why not?
I can drink, if I'm really thirsty, I can drink about half of a cool cup of water, like 4 ounces, before I'm done.
You need it or you're going to die, you're going to do it.
I mean, having to. Yeah. But I could do a 16-ounce Snapple if I were really hot and I could pound that down. How do you do it with water?
The funniest thing was I used to water down Snapple and it used to make your mother crazy. But I did it. I don't like things that are too sweet. I can have dilution of stuff. I like to drink stuff.
Yeah, I can drink watered down Snapple or if you put some lemon in water.
Oh,
I can drink that.
I saw your thing about Louise Lazer.
Oh, we posted. Yeah. I'll get to that before the end of the show. But I'm envious and rather amazed by it that you can do that. Because even I can come back, or if I'm doing exercise oh my God, I need water. I'm schwitzing. I'm coming to the car after we're walking back from shopping. And I'm like, I gotta have. And you'll hand me your water bottle, and it's like 2 sips and I'm done.
Yeah, that's true.
But and it does it for me. It hydrates me to the point where I'm okay. I won't get a headache. I won't get dehydrated. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't drink nearly enough.
That's why you get your eye thing.
Yeah, where I get a little headache over my eye.
Because that's what I'll tell you. So your cousin, it was Jody's husband called Fred. We went to this in graduate school. And it was so funny because my headaches were worse. And I was like, oh, it's school. And Fred's like, no, you're in an extremely old building. It's very dry in here. You're dehydrated.
Right.
And he helped me a lot. I used to drink more at school. I felt better. Because the building was so it wasn't like a whatever. It was very yeah.
But it always frightens me when I think back of those two... They were we're talking about radio today with Goldie Dver and about quote-unquote shock broadcasters and morning zoo kind of people. Remember this, 25-something years ago, there were these 2 morning zoo guys, and they had a contest of a woman, of how much water can you drink, like a gallon of water. Yeah. So a woman came in.
Is it like Airsats fatty?
She would actually, if she were Airsats fatty, she'd be in a lot better shape.
What happened?
She drank, she pounded down straight water, bottled water. Yeah. She drowned. She took so much water into her system so quickly.
Her lungs?
Yeah, she aspirated or whatever the hell she did. She died, and they lost their gigs on the air
during the show.
Yeah, Yeah, they did. She fainted. She went out.
In her lungs. She must.
I don't know. I have to look up the whole. Yeah, she died.
I finally got this back, but I'll go.
Or I can Google it on here and
I'm
find
curious
it.
to see what happened. I'm just curious. Maybe it went in her lungs and she like drowned. That's kind of.
And it always spooked me. It always seemed like a horror movie kind of a thing.
Accident, yeah.
In 2007,
Yeah.
and this is AI, but I'm trusting it.
Yeah.
KDND-FM in Sacramento
Yeah.
held Hold Your Wii for a Wii contest. Contestants drank nearly 2 gallons of water to win a Nintendo Wii.
Well, I wouldn't do it for that.
Participant Jennifer Strange, age 28, suffered fatal water intoxication, hyponatremia, and her family later sued and won $16 million in a wrongful death suit against the station owners. But who would figure drinking...
Look up hyponatremia. I want to see what it means. What happened?
It's hypo...
I'll look it up here.
Natremia.
Okay. How can someone die from hyponatremia?
Because I'm guessing it fills the lungs. I don't know what else.
Oh, cerebral edema? The brain swells.
Maybe it's an existing condition.
Can you read? I don't
know if I can read this. Okay.
You can, yeah.
Oh, cerebral edema. It occurs. Hyponatremia occurs from cerebral edema, brain swelling, blood sodium drops below normal.
Yeah.
Water rushes into the cells via osmosis.
Yeah.
And because your brain is trapped inside this rigid skull,
God.
the brain swells,
Yeah.
potentially leading to herniation of the brain, coma, and respiratory failure.
God.
So it wasn't her lungs at all. It just her brain just went.
It was that all the water just filled her and expanded the cells and burst her brain.
I guess.
Let me say, I have to understand.
Please do. Yeah.
I have to look.
I wonder if she drunk coffee or tea, if the caffeine would have.
Well, it says, look, sodium levels drop gradually over 48 hours. They drop rapidly in acute and brain swelling. Wow.
Yeah. Whoa. So I wonder if there's more of a news story. I'm sure there were old news stories on this. They went to trial. The jury ruled.
Triggers. It's often caused by overhydration during intense exercise.
And she didn't. By the way, this says that she didn't die at the station. She went home.
It says 48 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and.
But underlying heart, kidney, liver, and vomiting and diarrhea, if she did it, can deplete sodium.
She said to one of our supervisors she was on her way home. Her head was hurting her very badly. She was crying, and that was the last thing anyone heard from her.
Oh, wow.
Water intoxication, death.
But I wonder if they signed for everything you do. Like if you ride on the subway, you sign a thing saying like if you die, it's your own fault, right? Like. Everything you do, you sign a release.
I know. Initially, contestants were handed 8-ounce bottles of water to drink every 15 minutes, which doesn't sound like... They were small half-pint bottles, so we thought it would be easy. They told us, if you don't feel like you can do this, don't put your health at risk. Ibarra said he quit after drinking 5 bottles. My bladder couldn't handle it anymore. Everybody was worried about their bladder bursting, not...
It was another contestant?
Yeah, he quit. He said he had 5 bottles of 8-ounce water and just gave up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the other contestants weren't scared they were going to have the same thing. I would run to the doctor if I knew that happened to somebody else who was in that contest.
Well, they may not have drunk the level that she... I wonder who won the Wii. I wonder who held their pee.
Does it say?
But that was the weird thing, that they were just handing them... She didn't even chug it like airsoft faggy. She drank an 8-ounce bottle.
Underlying condition.
I wonder. I really, really wonder. Because 8 ounces every 15 minutes does not sound like a mad amount of water at all. I still don't get it. I don't. But anywho, so that has always made me a little overcautious of over drinking, quite honestly. But the reason I'm talking about this has to do with the word of the day from Merriam-Webster being xeric, Xeric, which means that you can, an organism, a plant, grass, whatever it is, survives pretty fine with only a minimum little bit of water. And we have that. We have that downstairs by our front door. Yeah. We have these little plants.
Very true.
We go away. We don't touch them. The dirt is as dry as a bone. I mean, they're succulents. and they're fine.
Yeah, that's true.
And every once in a while, I give them a little spritz of water because I figure they can't pull everything from me. I don't know. So they are xeric plants.
Well, if you overwater a plant, the plant will die. So that could be an indication, right?
Yeah.
I would never do any of those contests. That's scary.
No.
Can you imagine? I'm sure that nobody wanted that to happen. That's really sad.
Yeah, no, I feel bad also for the radio station because it would not, if I were one of those hosts, I was like, they're drinking water.
No, for everybody involved, that's really awful.
The worst thing that can happen is someone's going to pee in their pants. That'll be the,
because I've had people leave people and then they die, but imagine you're that boss and you're like, oh, okay, go home, feel better.
Yeah.
And you're the last person to see them. I mean, that's, wow.
And then the station on the hook for 16 mil. Because
that's horrible.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to, I do wonder what happened to the hosts. Whatever happened to.
I can't look. If I look, I'm not going to be able to find this again.
Yeah. Who were the, let's see, who were the DJs? I just have to wonder. I didn't even call them DJ. There were radio hosts.
Was it? Why not?
3 DJs were fired in 2007.
That's a long time ago.
Wow, they fired 10 employees for putting that whole thing together. Who knew like a regular, most stations don't even have 10 people working.
People.
Yeah.
And one's part-time.
So it doesn't say, interesting. They don't say who the morning disc jockeys were. I guess it's for their...
You put your eczema cream on it?
No, not right now. I mean later.
Okay, yeah, it's bad. I see the eczema.
So let's see who...
Does it say...
They keep mentioning the dead woman, Jennifer Lestrange. The morning rave DJs, I guess they're keeping their name out of the...
I'll look it up.
So they could get...
It's called, honey, tell me.
They were on KDND morning rave.
What's the radio show where the woman died of hyponatremia?
I think Adam Cox was one of them.
I'm going to say it. Okay. What happened to those radio hosts that were fired? This is AI.
There.
Here.
Okay, who were they? They were Lucas Cox on the air named Lucas, Steve Maney, and Patricia Sweet faced immediate termination, civil lawsuit. I wonder if they've bounced back.
It says there.
Oh.
I asked what happened to them now. For you, I'm trying to help you.
He moved south.
Yeah.
Steve Maney, he moved to Charlotte and hosted, he does better than I do. He hosted a morning show there, the Maney Show. Lucas Cox struggled to find work. He eventually found employment at major stations, including New York Z100. Because in New York, they'll drink anything. And then he later moved to Wichita. Oh, and he wrote a bio called My Crazy Radio Life. I got to read that.
Yeah, you should.
And Trish Sweet, she moved to Florida. She's working at a station in Orlando. She says, she says the tragedies with her every day of her life. And she questioned the safety of the stunt during the broadcast.
Whoa.
She was like, can't you get water poisoning and, like, die?
She said that?
I think that cost the station $16 million. Next time, I know you're a morning jock. I know you're, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Keep your things to yourself. We had no idea.
Shouldn't somebody have investigated that before the stunt? Like, what are they,
It would, again, I don't think it would have occurred to me. I would have think, what could be a healthier stunt than asking people to drink water and then hold their pee until they can't?
It says the civil lawsuit, they were named by the family. Here it says her name is Jennifer Strange. It said they found the parent company 100% liable. And then, would you like to know more about the civil trial or FCC regulations that changed because of the case?
I'll buy that.
Tell me about the regulations that changed because of this case.
Yeah, my wife is looking it up on the phone. Let me see. Please, thank you. It didn't pass any new laws, but in terms of the FCC, broadening the public interest standard in FCC policy to include physical safety. Alrighty. Until then, it was just about hoaxes and decency and things like that. So now,
like a fake voice or a fake phone call, yeah.
Wow.
What?
And it proved that the FCC could use its license renewal to shut a station entirely. It threatened to deny KDND's license renewal over the contest.
Because they were part of that whole thing.
And they killed in 2017 when the license came up. They were forced to voluntarily surrender and delete KDND from the license. So Entercom, CBS Radio had to give it up. And then industry-wide elimination of stunt contests. All I can say is thank God Howard Stern did the farting contests before 2000. Well, this was before. Well, that's a stunt. Let's say they get the guy on there, and Stuttering John is counting the guys by labial fricatives, and he hemorrhages.
Oh, God.
He pushes his belly in the wrong way, and something twists, and he herniates or hemorrhages.
That's true.
Howard Stern would be on the hook, probably for $160 million. Wow. So thank God they were doing the farting contests long before this happened.
I have your phone so I can see your show.
By the way, it's noon Eastern time here in the Daverhood. I think we're done with xeric. We've done plenty on xeric. I'm sorry, what? We got Colorado, Limerick, and our friends of the Daverhood to get done with before we end this 1040th episode of The Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife, all of you watching at home. And yes, we've been calling this episode Goldie LOX, Goldie LOX, by the way, for our delightful new friend of the Daverhood, Goldie Dver, cabaret singer. Remember, she is going to be hosting and singing in the show this Wednesday evening at Don't Tell Mama in Midtown Manhattan. It's all about duets, so get your tickets and find out more at goldiedver.com, D-V-E-R, goldiedver.com. Plus, get your tickets early for when she'll be at the Laurie Beachman on September 17th. So, yes, thank her so much. What a delight to have her in the Daverhood as a new friend. See, friends of the Daverhood are folks who have appeared on this show, whether this week or last month or 12 or 15 or 20 years ago. They're pals. They're family. We like to keep you posted on what they're up to.
Here.
Oh, what was this? This is, for example, here, I'm going to play the music while you see Art Paul Schlosser's latest painting. And he calls it Pink Frog and Fly, which...
Is that what that is?
It's a pink frog and a fly.
I thought it was the amoeba.
Oh, it is cute. It does sort of have that amoeba hop thing going on for it. Anywho, where's my list? Here they are. Friends of the Daverhood. This weekend is your last weekend to catch the off-Broadway musical at the Public Theater, Girl Interrupted, with a score by Amy Mann. So today and tomorrow, it's closing tomorrow. Thank you very much. Oh, just person we were talking about. On Monday, Katie Sullivan is doing her cabaret show, I'm Glad I'm Not Young Anymore, at the Laurie Beachman Theater. And then, starting on Tuesday and running through early August, Molly Ringwald is a cast member in the off-Broadway show Are You Now or Have You Ever Been? It's played by Eric Bentley, based on transcripts from the McCarthy hearings, City Center on West 55th Street. On Wednesday, of course, Goldie Dver with Michael Garin, Katie Sullivan, and Mark Nadler, It Takes Two at Don't Tell Mama. Playing Wednesday through Saturday of this week, Ann Hampton Calloway is with her sister Liz at 54 Below. On the 16th, which I guess is Thursday, two shows at 6 and 7:30. Marcus Goldhaber is doing a cast album party for his new record, The Promise of You. I think it's happening at the Jazz Club Mesro on West 10th Street in Manhattan. Also, starting on Wednesday and running through the weekend, Thursday and running through the weekend, Daniel Gortzman Dance has their summer mix at the Kitchen Theater in Ithaca New York. Starting again on Thursday and running through the end of the month, Hamilton Clancy is directing As You Like It, Shakespeare in the Park on the lower... Oh, sorry, no, Shakespeare in the Parking Lot.
Oh, God.
No, I've seen it. It's a great idea. They put out chairs and they do Shakespeare in this big old... It used to be on Ludlow Street. I'm not sure exactly where it is now, but it's on the Lower East Side. They're doing As You Like It, directed by Hamilton Clancy. Playing now through July 19th. So you have about a week to see the solo show Kitty Daddy, written by and starring Bob Brader, and it's at the East to Edinburgh Festival over at E59 Theaters on the east side of Midtown. Melissa Manchester is in the show Cagney at the Bay Street Theater over in Sag Harbor on Long Island. That is playing through almost the end of July. Also playing nearly through the end of July, Ruben Santiago Hudson on Broadway in the August Wilson play revival, Joe Turner's Come and Gone at the Barrymore Theater. Tova Feldschuh has lent her voice to a voiceover in the musical A Walk on the Moon over at the Laura Pels Theater. Debbie Gravit is on Broadway in Just in Time. Anne Harada is quite funny in Schmigadoon at the Nederlander Theater. And Andre de Shields in Cats, the Jellicle Ball at the Broadhurst. Shout-outs to my friend Evan Seplow and his website, stagebuddy.com. Shout-out to Vicky Quaddy and all the shows.
She's been doing a lot of fundraisers lately.
Sure. Vicky co-created Late Night Catechism, and she does a bunch of funny shows about nuns. See them all in the Chicagoland area. Vicky Quaddy, nunsforfun.com. David Sheward writes theater reviews for TotalTheater.com. Eva Heineman hosts the theater review show High Drama. Charlie Gross and Leslie Hoban Blake, they co-host the theater review show 2 on the Aisle. Both of those programs are watchable on YouTube. And want to remind you, Jim Caruso's cast party every Monday night at Birdland. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is about 10 after 12 Eastern Time here in the Daverhood, coming out of sunny Maryland. But for about 11 years, my wife and I lived not in Maryland and not even in New York, but Colorado. Beautiful, beautiful state.
Years, David.
I'm sorry, what?
13.
No, I think we physically were there about 11 years, from 2009 until 20 for me. Yeah, and then 21. We had a wonderful time living there. Earlier, we did Non-Greeley Times, which was based on a story that used to be in the Greeley Tribune. But also, I took it into my brain to start writing poems about as many places as I possibly could in lovely Colorado. Now, the towns were very often beautiful because it's big sky country, of course.
You know what I thought we should do? We should cut out something in the shape of the state of Colorado. Why didn't we ever do that? And you could hold it up.
Yeah, we get a color printout
Because I've seen that with like just the state of Colorado.
Even a map, or yes.
Print it out and we just cut it out. Yeah.
I would love that. I would absolutely. I would love to have a thing for every segment of the show, and we just point to it on the wall. We'll do it.
I just thought of it because a lot of people are doing maps now for stuff like I guess the heat wave. They put them. I've been seeing a lot of maps. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love the idea.
I have a nice one in Maryland that someone gave me. It's like a keychain that's rubber, but it's the shape of Maryland.
Yeah. Well, we need a Maryland map too, because that's where we're based out of now.
I think we should figure that out.
But for our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, as beautiful as many of these places are, that's how wretched, tasteless, sick, and ugly most of the poems are, because they're limericks. They're 5 lines long, they're supposed to be amusing, and because they're mine, and from the Daverhood, well, they've got to be what they've got to be. So, today we go to Copper Spur, Colorado. Copper Spur, Colorado. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I don't even have our theme yet. I still got to go back and grab all the songs that were in my on my cloud somewhere.
Yeah, they're in your cloud.
Let me see if I can
files. Where's your file folder? Find your cloud.
And then let me look on the cloud for Limerick on the iCloud drive. Let's see. Let me find the kind of file. It should be an MP3.
Correct.
Let's see if this works. Yes!
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme, and likewise verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain,
So, yes, I write these ridiculous, awful, tasteless poems. How bad? Oh, this one's a bad one. Yeah, and they're from a different place, and I do apologize. We were going to do this one last week, but we ran out of time, and I saved it for you a whole week long. I'm going to reward your patience. Copper Spur, Colorado, which is an unincorporated guest ranch, so it's basically just a working ranch thing, where they have actually cattle and sheep operations to this day. It's in Eagle County, Colorado. 45 minutes from Vail, about 150 miles from the Denver airport in northwest central Colorado. And this is from their website, quote, "At Copper Spur Ranch, it's just you and the wild. No traffic, no noise, not another soul in sight, spanning over 1,800 private acres and bordering 180,000 acres of public land. It's a rare kind of Colorado escape," unquote. Let's go there now, man. There is, by the way, also a Copper Spur mine in Routt County, but we're not talking about that. This is just Copper Spur, the ranching area, and now the subject of a Colorado limerick of the damned. Are you ready there? Are you?
Of course.
Yes. Okay.
I have my little one drumstick.
Ahem. The wealthiest young girl in Copper Spur spurns all the staff who make a play for her. The butler and the cooks all pine for her good looks, but secretly she's fucking the chauffeur. Now, of course, if you want to complain, and why wouldn't you, the email address is davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. You can also, of course, message me on Facebook or post your messages on Facebook itself under each program or any posting that we do. I love to hear from you. I love to, see your messages. I don't have a chance necessarily to reply to everyone who writes in, but I'm certainly very grateful to all the people who do. Let me try to point it more this way. At some point I will get the lighting right. Well, no, maybe not there. Okay. So davesgoneby@aol.com. Remember, we also have our Twitter feed, or X feed, I guess they call it, at RadioDave2, at RadioDave, the number 2. Plus, we have a Blue Sky account, David Lefkowitz, or is our Blue Sky Dave's Gone By? I'm not even sure at this point. It's Dave's Gone By is our Blue Sky. Instagram is david.lefkowitz. We have our archives at davesgoneby.com. Every show we've ever done, basically, every interview, every sketch, every song, davesgoneby.com. And then we also put all our archives at archive.org, archive.org. And it's the same stuff. It's all the shows, all the interviews. And if our website goes down, we have kind of a fail-safe. Plus, we put all our show archives audio only at castbox.fm. So if you're out and about and you don't want to watch 3.5 hours of show, you can listen. Castbox.fm is for podcasting. And speaking of podcasting, all our episodes are on Spotify.com. Lots of different ways to get the same material. Your best bet, and we also have a YouTube channel and everything else, but davesgoneby.com and the Facebook page are your main portals for making me immortal, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're about 12:15. You know what? You were so patient to wait a week
they're talking to me.
for our Colorado Limerick, which we were going to do last week. I know I promised it, but I'm going to save it. We have the song I talked to you earlier about. I'm going to wait a week for our parody number, The Pain of Hemophilia, which is based, of course, on Taylor Swift's songs, the song The Fate of Ophelia. It's worth waiting for, I promise. But we're already after 12. I want to talk about a couple of other things before we end the show. I'm getting a little hungry. So, otherwise, I say, fuck it, we'll go till 1 o'clock. I don't care. But no.
I can bring you food if you want to stay on the air.
No, I'm good. I'm also talked out. I haven't had a break. I haven't even peed in 3.5 hours.
You didn't have a break because you didn't have anything taped,
Yeah, so it's
and
been...
your segment was good, but it was longer than usual.
Yeah. Well, that was... Rabbi Sol gave me a break for an hour or so.
Not really. Not so much.
But before we go, a couple of things I want to talk about with you. And then I promise next week, The Pain of Hemophilia, the song. But first of all, we had a pretty nice dental visit this week. We have a local dentist. Yeah, I talk about what I talk. I got him.
Oh, good. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
the ice cream man came.
Why is it? I don't know how it happens. Some dental hygienists just have the touch. A lot of dental hygienists are really, really good. A lot of them, very skilled, very diligent, and every last bit of gook and plaque and tartar and that. Somehow I've turned into Jackie Mason. But they do it. And I remember there was one hygienist I went to, I think it was back on Long Island, and boy, she was diligent, and I wasn't brushing very well back then, which didn't help. But every tooth, she would go under the gum with the metal thingy.
But I also think, David, to be quite honest with you, we do use the electric toothbrush now, and I think that does help.
I brush regularly. I don't brush as often. I still am a once-a-day brusher when you should be 2 or 3 times a day. But I floss, and I use the electric brush, and sometimes I use the water pick thingy. So I'm much better than I ever was throughout my entire life. But so it toughens up the gums, which is what you're supposed to do. Still, I've been brushing pretty well for several years now. And there's hygienists who are like, where you feel your eyeballs start rising to the top of your forehead. And then that hygienist we had this week, she's new.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's true. You're
Yeah.
right.
And I'm like, I almost fell asleep while she was cleaning my teeth. Never!
I've never heard you say that.
People fall asleep during haircuts.
They fall asleep during haircuts or I've never heard you say that.
Yeah, no, I'm like...
You were sleepy?
I was tired. It was morning. I was tired. I was in a chair.
It was 10 o'clock. It wasn't like 3 a.m.
I can sleep anytime. You know me. And she's digging and she's going and I'm like...
Did you have I had strawberry or cherry.
I didn't like the taste of the brush thing that they used. It's like cherry herring. It was like
no, for me it was
Robitussin.
To me it tasted like strawberry, but she said it was cherry.
Yeah, no, mine was cherry and was ugh. But thing was, at the very end, see, I think some of the hygienists, they clean it, and then every tooth, they do everything. Mm-hmm. So, and then each tooth is like...
she checked for gum depth.
That's the one time where she got me a little bit.
How deep your gum, if you had any gum disease.
How deep is your gum? So, gotta give her a shout out though, because through 99% of the process, what?
Jennifer.
Oh, was her name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I always remember, it's easy for me to remember names, so sometimes, but I remember when she said it, I thought like, oh, Jenny, and that was in my head, so Jennifer.
So, and she was gentle with you too, right?
Oh, she was great.
I mean, they were getting tartar out and digging and going under. I was like, wow. Some hygienists are Mengele and some have the touch.
It's like everybody. In every profession, there are people that are more suited, or there are people that have more experience and are better, and there are people that are not, and that's,
But it's not that they're worse. It's just some people are more painful.
Yeah,
There was no, by the way, there was no numbing agent. There was no,
No, you didn't have
Novocaine involved. It was just her
Yeah.
thing. And she got the stuff out.
But she also wore the tiny like microscope glasses, so she could maybe see better. I wonder when you had the other people who were rough, if they weren't wearing those little, the little like.
The Coke bottle specs.
They couldn't see the.
So they had
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
So thank you, and no cavities. You have a little tooth issue that you're dealing with.
Because I'm a mess. I'm just a mess.
She's a mess. I'm a
mess.
Everybody's a mess in different ways.
I'm a mess in every way.
Well, still, you're better off. This is a fucked up segue, but you are better off than our friend of the Daverhood. We lost one this week.
Who? Oh, was that?
Which is sad. Actress Louise Lasser.
Yeah, it was a great interview you posted.
She was, of course, the star of the Norman Lear sitcom dramedy pre-soap serial Mary Hartman. She was also married to Woody Allen for a couple of years, and she was in his early films.
Before Mia Farrow, right?
Well, long before Keith.
Did she talk about him? I didn't remember.
I think she was talking to Rabbi Sol, but he was sort of reticent to ask. I think he asked one question about Allen, very specifically about his personal life. I don't know. I don't remember.
Did she ever write a book? I'm surprised she did.
Yeah. Well, what she did, she also taught acting for many, many years.
Wow.
And so she appeared back in, not that long ago, only about 5 years ago, with her life partner, Michael Citroniti, and he was very fun. They appeared together.
Nice.
Because he was also shoring her up a bit. She had a cold, and she was getting older, so he was kind of there to jolly her along a little bit and so forth. But she was great, and he was great, and it's a lovely interview we can watch on davesgoneby.com. I also just reposted it on Facebook this week. When Louise Lasser passed, I think she was 87 years old, so condolences to Michael Citroniti and to all the folks who knew her. Very cool. Very sad to lose her, but it was very proud and cool that she was a guest on this program and now a late friend of the Daverhood, Louise Lasser. Well, I think that about covers it. We're at the 12. Yeah, we're going to take almost all the way to 12:30 in the afternoon, Eastern Time, on this 1040th episode of the Dave's Gone By Show. Are we going to be here next Saturday?
So your shirt, when you do it, it says "Bad Day." See?
Yeah, I know. I
didn't realize that.
Except it's been a great day.
Yes.
It's been a bad day. Please do take my picture. Oh, obscure REM reference there, but yeah. Next week, I expect we'll be here on the 18th. For the 1041th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. Remember to go to davesgoneby.com for all the archives. Remember to write to me, davesgoneby@aol.com. Ooh, remember also please to check my other website, davelefkowitz.org, for all my... Oh, I never showed my award. I got to do that. Thank you to the Long Island Press Club again for...
It's massive. It's lovely.
Giving me a lovely desktop award thing for my writing. That was very nice. If you want to read my articles, my song lyrics, my one-act plays, my poems, my everything, I'm still gathering more, but it's everything I've put up so far. It's davelefkowitz.org, davelefkowitz.org. And especially if you're a theater company, you want to put up a play of mine, I would like it very, 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 very much. So, just word to the wise. Anyway, hon, is there anything we haven't covered, anything you want to cover?
I think you did a great show.
Well, yeah, thanks to you and your help. Thanks to Goldie Dver again. Let's end, really. I thought the Colorado Limerick would do it, but here's a dad joke.
Blind person was eating seafood. Didn't help.
That's really bad taste. That's as bad a taste as my limericks.
What do you call a man with no nose and no body? Nobody knows.
Come on, let's go. All right, one more. Wait, should we do one more?
Better not tell you now.
Shut up. Useless thing.
I named my horse Mayo.
On that note, let's play our outro music by Dave J.
Days gone by. Days gone by.
Remember, next week, 3 more hours of this and our Hemophilia Taylor Swift parody song, all the usual stuff. Me, her, you, be there.